Well, good evening, everyone. New day, new live stream. How's everyone doing? Can everyone hear me? Is my microphone working this time? Oh, goodness. Another live stream again. Let's save another laptop. Well, we have picture, except for this poles in my face here. But everyone vote for that stuff. We have them up. I think we have them both on Twitch and on YouTube. So the gist of these three machines, I have, before you vote, if you've already voted, then I guess you can't take it back, but that 18R1, the M18R1, has a 2.6 error. I have no idea what that is. I've actually never seen it before, so I don't know what that is going to pertain to. We're going to figure that one out. The Inspiron gaming machine, that's the 7577, which is a gaming edition. That was actually a donation. I put it in the poll a couple weeks ago, but this was sent in by one of the viewers, and he sent it in as a donation. I don't know what's wrong with it. He said he was going to donate it or recycle it or something. So maybe if I fix it, we can send it to a viewer. I don't know. Figure out how to do that. And then the last one's a 9700 XPS, the 17-inch laptop, and that one is not negotiating the charger or something, so the charger's not working. So anyway, vote them up. Vote them up. I see we got Jamaica here. Who else is here? Go ahead and shout out your country or state or wherever you are, and I'll see if I can read it fast enough. About to be 4 hours from here. Whichever has liquid metal. So the M18R1 is going to be the AMD edition, I believe. So it may have liquid metal, most likely. I see Brazil, Arizona, the Netherlands, Idaho, TN. What was the error code? Is it 2.6? So a 2.7 is like a screen usually. A 2.6 is, I don't know, but I don't want to know what it is yet. So if you look it up and tell me, I don't know. I see Florida, I see Washington, Scotland, Alaska, Minnesota, Brazil, UK, Australia, North Carolina, Morocco, Virginia, South Africa, Slovakia, I can't even say it, UK, New York, Virginia, England, Boston, Mass, New York, Texas, Czechoslovakia, let's see, Philadelphia, Montgomery, California, Oregon, Canada, Australia, whew, okay, Argentina, Maryland, Nebraska, Kansas, Puerto Rico, all over the place. We got a good turnout, so cast your votes. Twitch, there's only 22 of you guys. You remember how it's going to work here is whoever has the highest percentage, and so right now, it's not really showing us on YouTube. There we go. Let's see, how can I make it where the YouTube shows better? Can I scroll that up? I don't know. But basically, whatever has the highest percentage is what we're going to go for. So it's not necessarily going to be the count. It's going to be the percentage because it's easier to kind of go that route. And so just cast your votes on there. We'll let that run for a little bit. I see Thailand, Michigan, and Australia, China, Mars. Someone's from Mars. Nice. Hey, we got a super chat, $5 Canadian. Canada checking in. If I rounded a heatsink screw on your M15R4, how do I safely get it out? Love the channel. Love lots of learning. So generally, what I do with that is I take a flathead screwdriver, and that is, let me show you. I have my tool drawer here. So I'll take one of these like multi screwdrivers that have like all the different heads in there. You can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's or something, but I would get the smallest head. Actually, that was a Torx. Yeah, there we go. This is, you can actually tell that I've done this a lot on this one. But basically, you just use a flathead screwdriver, and you can get it out with that. Just push down really hard, and you can get it out. So I think I missed another super chat. Let me jump back here. Welcome to, oh, I got a coolest fan. Someone joined the coolest fans. Nice, thank you. Thank you so much. We got a new member. So let's see, any questions? While your voting's going on, we're gonna let this run. It usually runs about 10 minutes. So looks like, who's winning? Who's winning? The M18R1 is 80% on Twitch and 57% on YouTube. So looks like M18R1 is actually winning, which is actually what I voted for. Yes, I get the vote too, but it's only one count. let's see, what questions do we have while we're waiting here? I see more places. We got Pennsylvania, Boston, the Philippines, North Carolina, Melbourne, Australia, Vietnam, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and Georgia. Everywhere. It's getting quite international. That's right. You're from Indianapolis. Yes, and so on this day, it's actually interesting because, you know, it's a Wednesday night and it's 6 p.m. Central Time. And that means it's the middle of the night for people that are across the pond or on the other side of the world. So I'm surprised how many international people we have join in on this night, because that's why we do the Sunday morning one. That way we can get more international people. But I guess people just don't sleep, or I help them go to sleep. Maybe you guys have this on in the background while you're trying to sleep. Strange, anything usually gets the votes. Yes, so I've used the word strange in there just to kind of illustrate what I was finding strange, you know, because I actually thought that the customer had written it weird or wrong on the paperwork, saying it was a 2.6, and I actually plugged it in to turn it on to see if it got a 2.6. So I did cheat a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure it had a 2.6. I wanted to make sure it was valid because I didn't want to have that 3.5 error. So. As a doctor of science, this is the best computer show on YouTube. Whoa, well, thank you very much. That's awesome. How close does the FLIR camera focus? Can you hold it closer for more detail? No, you can't. So the FLIR camera is kind of the best at the distance I have it at. So I still haven't returned the other one. I've been using the newer one still because I'm experimenting with it. It did have some good use cases today, so I'm on the fence still. So here's my FLIR 1 Pro that we're talking about. This one has 2 lenses on it. Now, the closer you get, remember this is 2 cameras and you have parallax happening, right? So because you have the 2 eyes. Now there's a camera adjuster inside the application where you can adjust the 2 cameras to overlay properly. And so the further away it is, you have to change the adjustment. The closer it is, you have to change the adjustment. Now, even where I'm at, it's a little bit off and I can't get it any more adjusted. So the closer you go, the more it gets off because of the 2 lenses. So it's really not that good. Now I do have another one. So this is my thermal seek. This one has a 3D printed macro lens. So I could probably put that in front of there. I never thought about doing that, but let me jump back here a little bit. I have an interesting question. Do you wear any makeup for this lights and stuff? No, I don't. I do not. I do not wear makeup. But I should have some shine, right? A little shine. I mean, isn't that what makeup's for? Is just to get rid of the shine. And my lights aren't too bad. I mean, these are just cheap LED lights. I think they're 2 for $40. I mean, I'm not spending any money on this stuff here. 10 a.m. is a perfect time. Let's see. What else we got cooking in this chat? If I was to join your Sunday, it would be 3 a.m. here. Oh, interesting. So this is actually a perfect time. Okay, well, that's great. That works out. You run on coffee to watch the live streams, yeah? And I got my coffee. So remember, on Wednesdays, I'm already been here for 10 hours or 10 and a half hours. Or it's coming up on 11 hours. In 15 minutes, it'll be 11 hours. So I'm always a little bit behind. My brain is a little bit tired, so I always just, I get well, this is actually a different coffee place. I'm trying a different place because I was eating at a restaurant or a place for lunch, and I grabbed this when I was out. So let's see. For P3, NanoFix had a video. I know he did. What did he say? The video is showing... I try to read from this one chat over here, and it keeps moving. Every time I scroll down, it moves back up, so I have to move over here. We have a new member in the Coolest Fans Club. Thanks, Carl. Let me scroll back up and see what this guy was saying about NanoFix. The NanoFix phone app is much better picture quality than the PC app, so you should try before you try returning it. So I'm actually using the phone app right now. I don't use the PC app, and so what I'm doing is I'm casting my phone to the computer. So if it should be giving me the results I want, because that's what you're saying, right? The phone app is much clearer picture, yes. So I have it set up where it's right here. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. I have no way of showing you, but oh yeah, here you can go. You can kind of see it. It's right here. It's mounted on my microscope. So that way I can kind of look at it on a separate view here. And then, let's see if that shows with this view. There you go. You can see it right there. So I have a phone right here mounted, so I can actually see it as like a heads-up display. And then I have that whatever, sent to the screen so y'all can see it. Gosh, this chat moves so fast and I can't keep up. You have the same camera and the same issue. Okay. And your little electronic, are you talking about the P3 or are you talking about this one? Which one are we talking about? Guide to warm lighting, yeah, blue lighting sucks. So I have, yeah, so if I do, so this is like all like a blue lighting set. Whoa, I'm like so blue now. So I set it on kind of a mix. That's really warm. And these things just have 3 different colors. And so I just kind of set it like that. And then my overhead and my back, I put on warm. So I have these as kind of like a cooler on my face. And then my back and my overhead. So I have a hair light here. And I have another one that's a warmer light. So I have 5 lights on me. They're all super cheap. I don't spend any money on this stuff. And you don't need to. It just, I was showing people, I was like, you know, I could sit in front of the camera and not have any of these extra lights on, and everything kind of looks very drab. So if I turn off these extra lights here, it starts kind of like not filling me in. So I like to be able to cut, you know, put that background light on there, and boom. And see, doesn't it look much better having light behind me? Let's see. Recycled laptops are okay to buy. Looking at a couple on Amazon. I tried looking for one at Salem Techspert. Yeah, so you just need to get on the waiting list for Salem Techsperts, and he'll send them out, and he just, you know, they go out really fast. I sell refurbished laptops too, so you can get those. They're usually going to be anywhere from $350 to about $600 or $700 maybe on the high side for mine, and they're going to always be. They're all loaded with Windows 11. They're probably going to be like a 2020 to a 2023 model, somewhere around there. So they're all always Latitudes or Precisions. I only sell business machines, so, but we give a year warranty on all of our stuff. So you can definitely come to our site and click on refurbished laptops if you want to look at that stuff. Hold on. I'm going to stop reading. So our M18R1, it won. M18R1 won. So 59% on YouTube. And then the second place is going to be, looks like the 7577. So that Inspiron gaming laptop will be our second laptop. If we get there, I don't know. No promises, right? But, you know, that's how it works. Hit the like button, folks. Yes, big worm. Big worm, he has a point. It does spread it around. So do you have a link to like a microscope? Yeah, so all the equipment that I use is actually linked down in the video description, so you can find that there. This is the AM scope with the 90x zoom trinocular. So I have the first one I bought was you couldn't attach a camera to, and it was a lot cheaper, but it got me by, but you couldn't even zoom with it. Do you have a website to sell computers? So yeah, partspeople.com is my website. So I sell all my parts on that website. So I have about 700,000 parts for Dell and Alienware laptops in stock. The website has a real-time inventory, but I also have Alienware, I also have complete refurbished laptops you can buy there too. So what coffee am I drinking? So right now I'm drinking a iced coffee with honey, and everyone knows how much I love honey. So I've gotten, Montgomery in chat sent me this last week, Nate's honey. I didn't know that Nate made a honey, but it's my honey now. So I do like honey, and so that's what I put in my coffee as a sweetener, just to take the edge off. And it's usually just a cold brew for the evening. In the morning, I drink like a regular coffee. But yeah, so this is just company I don't know. It was a drive-through coffee place that I found. It's a small little mom and pop's place. I like to support local business. So okay. We're gonna have to get going on this. How do the viewers send you things? I don't know. I never, they just send me stuff. My business address, so they just kind of send me stuff to my business address. So, I don't know. Things just keep showing, things keep showing up. And speaking of, this is what showed up today. I just opened it, and this is from Bruce. And Bruce sent me some cigars. So I've gotten into cigars in the last year or so. Now, I'm not super hip on all this stuff, but look at these things. These things are gorgeous. So I got some Olivia's in here, and I got some, let's see if he says the name here. I'm really not that good. DIY Dave, that Nate's honey was sent to me by Montgomery in the chat there. So let's see, Don Carlos and Chatel, I'm going to butcher that name. And anyway, I appreciate it. And I will definitely be smoking these up. So with my bourbon, love it, love it, love it. Was the repair of my first? Wait, what was the first laptop you repaired? In history? That's a hard one. Or are we talking about tonight? Here, I'm going to take down this pole. We don't need that in my face anymore. So I started working on laptops in the early 2000s. So where did I learn to fix laptops? I worked at a computer store. Actually, I was digging junk out of a dumpster because I was working across the way from a computer store. And I was digging, they were throwing away a bunch of computer stuff, and I was digging out the stuff at night, and then I was like fixing it. And I would go into that shop, and then they knew me as the kid who was digging in the dumpster. And I was like 17 years old or 18, and then they hired me as the technician. I didn't know anything about computers, but they hired me as a technician. I learned it all from that, and that's how I learned. And then I started this business when I was 21. So I got 20 employees, or 19, something like that. Let's see. Okay, let's get going on this stuff. I know that we'll do a chat at the end. You know, I like to kind of chat at the starting, but we're going to chat at the end too. Let's get going. Let me grab the laptop. I got the title updated. Perfect. All right, new day and another laptop that needs to be saved. And this time we have an Alienware M18R1. This is an interesting one. This one was sent in, and it's giving a strange error I've never seen before. It's a 2.6 error. And so I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can get this figured out. So let's see if it turns on. And this thing is so big, it doesn't even fit on my desk. 18-inch laptop. And what's interesting is the way that they're doing these screens now, instead of doing like super widescreen, it was like 16:9. These are 16:10 aspect ratio. So it's almost like going back to the way it was, I don't know, in the late 2000s or something. So, no, it's a 2.6 error code. Here, let me get those notes. You guys can read it. Let me make sure we don't have personal information. All right, here we go. I know I usually give you the notes. You want the notes? I'll give you the notes. All right, so there you go. I'm going to let you read that. I'm very bad at reading, but laptop crashed. Looks like 10:05. I don't know what day. Oh, maybe I don't know, whatever. Upon crash, RGB keyboard, fans turned on, the screen's non-functional, no flash indicator. It was getting some input. I cycled the power. And so it says red, 2 red, 6 blue. So you disconnect the power. So I don't know. I've never seen that error before. We're about to look it up. I'm sure someone's going to tell me in a second, but haha, commercial again. Am I got commercial? Not commercial. Okay, let's look it up while we get started. So what did we say? 2.6. So we go Alienware, M18R1 light codes. And I'm tired of this AI, because the AI puts the wrong crap in there. It will like pull the wrong machine. All right, 2.6. System board or chipset error. That's not good. All right, I take it back. I don't want this one. I don't want this one. No, 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 no. Okay, well, what do you think? Does this seem like a good one? Are we happy that we picked this one? I voted for this one too, so I mean, there's not much that can be said there, but let's turn it on. Let's take a look together. Yeah, I think he meant 10/5/2025. They used to put a 0 there. Do you still supply parts for 2012? Yeah, I mean, there's some M17XR4 parts on our website. I don't really purge any parts, so it costs more money to have my employees go out and pull stuff off the shelf and go and recycle it than it is to just keep it on the shelf. So whatever's in stock is in stock still, you know, whenever I buy it. So I'm going to hit the power button, see if it turns on. I just realized we don't have our DMM up, so I'm going to get that voltmeter up, see if that's going to work. We don't need it necessarily right now, but okay. Power button, not doing anything. Let's plug in the power. Okay, keep an eye on the power meter. So I plugged it in, came on by itself, turned off by itself. So I saw the keyboard just for a second. Now it turned on again. I don't know if you can tell the keyboard's coming on, but fans are ramping. Uh-oh, we're taking off. We're taking off. Oh, it's going. Fans are on full blast. All right, but we're only pulling 14 watts. Okay, so now this is the AMD version of it, and so we haven't worked on this together, an AMD version of this machine, but we've worked on the Intel version. The CMOS reset process on that one, or when it first comes on, it was 60 watts, and it will sit there for a few minutes and then go through some stuff. Now this is an AMD. It will act a little bit different on the startup process, but I can tell you right now, fans full blast, no bueno. No bueno. Reflow the chipset, flash the EC, who knows? That's right. Arnold, I don't know what's going to happen with this one, because nothing's happening. We got no caps lock. I know that everyone likes me to click this button here. I can tell you I don't like Ryzen chips on these Dells. I don't know what it is. Now oh, here we go. Here's our light code. Count them up. Ugh. Count them up. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6er. So, what does that mean? Well, it means some sort of severity in the chipset or system board, of course. And I just hit the power button to turn it off. Fan stopped instantly. Keyboard backlight stayed on, power button stayed on, and the fans now are ramping back up. Let's do it again. Keyboard backlight stayed on, power button stayed on, fans are ramping back up. What does that mean? I have a suspicion. You see? I think I know what's going on here, but yeah. See, we got some people naming it in there. I think we might have a BIOS issue, a BIOS issue. All right, I'm holding down the power button trying to shut this thing off. Now, the thing about these AMD systems, they are a lot easier to put a BIOS on. I love doing AMD BIOSes. Well, I can't do anything. It won't turn off. So I will, it just turned off when I unplugged it. So is the battery even plugged in? The reason why I like AMD systems when doing the BIOS is because there's no ME region. You don't need to create some special version of the BIOS that's clean, that you have to make it where it's all fresh to put on there. You just flash that darn BIOS on there. I mean, you have to extract it, but you just do it. So that's what we're gonna be able to do if we're gonna do it. You have a Ryzen 3, that means that it's been banned from the channel. No, I don't, I just have a lot of issues. There's a couple different of these AMD versions of Alienwares that I'm hating. Yeah, so CMOS reset, we'll try that. EC is working, CPU is cooked, possibly. The EC may or may not be working because we did have the machine shut off when we unplugged the charger. So EC charging, goes through the EC. Also, power buttons related to the EC. So I'm not 100% sure that the EC is okay yet. So we will see. Flashing the BIOS will be a quick, easy thing. And you know what? On this machine, the BIOS chip is on this side of the board. I don't even need to take the motherboard out. And the reason why I remember that is because I worked on one of these, and I flashed the BIOS on some of these M18s before, M18R1s, and the Intel version's on the opposite side, so I go through and pull the whole board out. But I remember getting one of these in, and I'm like, oh, it's a BIOS issue. I pulled the board out and then realized it was just on the side I can access, and I didn't even need to pull it apart. So it's forever burned in my brain for the wasted time. Flash the BIOS, flash the BIOS. It's like a chant. We need to flash the BIOS meme or emote. And the bottom is off. All right, we'll take a quick look around. We got the main battery here. It looks like it's Dell OEM, has a serial number here. The battery is unplugged, so that does concur with the machine shutting off when we unplugged it. So this machine has 3 fans and then has one in the middle, so it actually has 4. So these are on the CPU side, this one's on the GPU side, this one's on the memory side. This machine is that one machine that has the power rail issue for the RAM. I've seen it less often on the AMD version, but it definitely has the same like DDR5 power rail issue. And looks there's a wireless card and 1 NVMe is installed. So here is our BIOS chip. It's around here somewhere. I thought. I could be wrong. Maybe I burned this part of my brain and it's in the wrong spot. Ah, it's right here. So our BIOS chip is here. Oh yeah, let's try our BIOS recovery feature. Yeah, we'll try that. I just want to show you what the BIOS is or where it is. It's right there. So we got a 25Q256JW is going to be our BIOS chip. But we could try doing a Dell BIOS recovery. Now, Dell BIOS recovery really only works if you can get a screen, or at least in my opinion, because I've never got it to work when you don't get a screen. But we'll try it. We'll try it. So let's download. Was that a 512? You're right. No, it's a 256. So it's a 256, that means it's 32 megs. So we can actually do this with a chip reader without having to pull it out. So if this was a 512, we would have to pull it out. But because, yeah, so it's 32 megs, we're fine. The reason why you don't want to do the 512 version of this or the 64 meg version is because you have to hold it there for like 5 minutes or 8 minutes or something and you can't move. But this one's pretty fast. What was I saying? Oh, let's download the BIOS recovery file from the old Dell. The old Delly. So I'm going to show you a couple different things here. So we're going to first download just the regular recovery BIOS from Dell. So I'm just searching here, downloads, downloads, and BIOS. There's an update assistant. Ooh, nice. So to figure out, like, if you just click download right here, then it would download the regular exe. We don't want that. If you look right here, has exe, but you have other formats. You're going to click on that. You have your RCV. That's going to be your recovery file. This, you see the size here is 3396. Sometimes it's different size. See, 4642. So it's a different size. It has different stuff in there. It's packaged differently. That's why I always use the RCVs, because I can unpack them properly. We're going to download that. And let's see, I have a key here, I do. So we're gonna load it on one of these keys. Now, what I like about this key is it has a light on it, so when it's accessing it, it goes ding, 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 and you can see it blinking, so you can know if it's actually, if the BIOS recovery is actually pulling something from this. So that's probably the best thing to have. Now, this is gonna come down as a BIOS image, and that's the naming nomenclature that it needs to be when it's on the file. On there. So I'm going to get rid of all this old stuff on here. We don't need it because we want it to be blank on my flash drive. And we'll move this over here. Move. And we want it to be named that, okay? Because that's the file it's going to be looking for. Now, BIOS recovery, I think we have a 1% chance that it's going to work, but, you know, we're going to do everything we can. We want to see other ways of fixing things, right? So that's kind of the way I like to think about it. Okay, so I'm going to leave the battery unplugged. Now, technically you can't flash the BIOS with the battery unplugged, but there's code you can run in there and all that, but we're just trying to get to the recovery screen, so we don't need that plugged in to do this. And so we're going to have this, I'm going to put it in one of the back ports. Usually it's a dominant port. Now again, I can see the flash, the light here. That's what we're going to be looking for. Let's see if we do it like this. I'm just going to be able to have you kind of look at that. Is that a better way of doing it? So just look at that light there. But I need to show you this first. So to get into BIOS recovery on a machine that powers on its own when you do a CMOS reset. So you have to think about it. It's like when you have no power in the system and you plug in the charger, does the laptop come on by itself? Then it's one that you need to be able to, you need to hold control and escape when you plug in the charger. If it's one that you plug it in and it doesn't turn on its own, then you'll need to hold Control Escape and press the power button. So on this machine, it comes on its own, so we're going to hold Control and Escape. I'm going to plug in the power or the charger. All right, so we're going to see it come on. You can see the power meter do something. There we go. We're going to keyboard backlight. So once we get the keyboard backlight, we can let go. That's what they say, at least. So I don't think it's going to do anything, but there is a chance that it's going to, you know, get our screen, but I doubt it. And so I'm not seeing that blinking at all or accessing it. We should see that power up and start going dee 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 dee. So that's not working. Let's see. Hey, Joe, if you're asking questions about fixing stuff, you want to jump on our Discord. Right now, it's not really the time to ask questions about fixing things because we're focusing on trying to do stuff. I can't answer your questions. So, but we do have a Discord. You can type ! Discord, or it's going to be dumping in there occasionally, and then you can ask your question there. All right, so did it blink, you said, one time when it powered up? I'm going to try turning it off. Okay. Pay attention to it. I'm going to power it off. It blinked one time, like you're saying. But it should stay on, is what this, the way I know this flash drive, it stays on, and then it will blink like kind of a slow like this, and then it will start blinking rapidly whenever it's like reading or accessing it. So this thing's dead brain. So that's a no bueno. All right, so here's the next thing we're going to do. So we're going to create a BIOS. So it blinked twice. Is that enough for you, Deputy? Deputy, no. I don't think twice blink is enough. No, it needs to stay on, and then it needs to blink like that. So let's create a new BIOS for this. It's going to be the easiest, most straightforward thing. I know we haven't done our whole physical inspection and looked around and da-da-da. But if we can kind of eliminate this as being an issue, it will be a lot quicker and easier in the long run. And it probably is. It's giving the symptoms of a bad BIOS. So let's get back over to our Dell screen. And so I'm going to re-download this because I already put it on my flash drive, and so I just need another copy. So I'm going to download it. But what I want to do is I want to rename it to this. I'm not going to use the exe, but I like to keep it with the same naming scheme. And so we'll go back to my downloads. There it is. And then we're going to rename this to that. Okay. So now I'm going to move this into my extraction folder because I use one folder to extract all my BIOSes to keep track of everything. And it is in BIOS Tools, BIOS Downloads. So here's all the BIOSes that I've worked on. Look at that. So those are the main files, and then these are the extracted files. So I'm just going to paste it in here. And what I want is I want to make sure I have the name, the whole name in my clipboard. And so I'm going to open my PowerShell window that has codes that I've typed in before. There we go. And so we're going to use one of these extractors. Now, if you don't know these extractors, you can download these off of disk, what is it? No, where is it at? What am I calling it? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking out? Where do you download everything? Oh my gosh. Come on, somebody needs to tell me where to download. Why can't I remember the name of it? GitHub, thank you. Oh my gosh, that was the biggest brain fart I've ever had in my life. So you can download it from GitHub. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, search for that. You can find it. So it's going to be one of these extractors. I can never remember. It's not going to be the Dell PSF. That's usually for like Latitude BIOSes. It may be this one, so we're going to try that one. I'll just paste it in there. We'll extract it. It says error. So we're going to try another one. And we're doing, that's the one we tried. It might be this one. There we go. So it extracted it. You see that it created some files. So if we go back to our window here, so now we should have a folder that is that naming. There it is, extracted. We go inside of there. Now we have two things in here because it basically took the isFlash file and then created a bin file that is the exact size of what your BIOS chip is going to be, 32 meg, 768. And so if we open this, we can actually see all the BIOS contents. And again, what's great about this is that you don't have to edit this at all. You just flash this straight onto the chip and that's it. So as long as it's extracted the right way, see, because the container was a little bit bigger, and so it needed to actually strip out some of it. So that's our file. We have our file made. So now we're going to have to extract the stuff off of here. So let's do what view we're going to do. I can never remember what views we use, so let's try this one. Split view. Split view is not the one. I guess we could do split view. Yeah, we'll do this. There we go. Yeah, it works. All right, so we got a couple different angles. You know, I like to have, I have so many cameras. So I'm going to extract the data off that just to back it up. I just want to save it. We always save customers' data. That way we can always go back to it. The top of AMDs are mostly empty. They are. Yeah, you're right. Okay, and so this is a 6x8 millimeter chip. And so the extractor I like to use, or the pogo pen reader I like to use, are this style. So I have two different types, but there's this style right here. And this is a 6x8. I have a 5x6 also. And then I have these styles, which are less, I don't like them as much, but sometimes you have to use these. So I have links to these inside my video description also. But the gist is there's like a little pogo pins. They kind of bend down and you can set it on there without having to take the thing out. I don't use the clips. They are horrible, but these are pretty good. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So I have my pen 1 marked here. I just kind of write on the side of this with pen 1. You can see pen 1's the dot. So I'm just going to set that on top. This kind of lines it up for me. And I hold it here. And I have to press down. So let's pull up the window here. Let's do that. There we go. I think we got enough views there. And maybe I'll leave it so I can see you. So we need to detect the chip. We detected the chip. You guys are going to have to remember, is it JW? Yeah, it was a JW, right? So 256QJW, it's a WSON chip, 8. That's what we're going to select. And so now we can read the data. Arnold loves this method. You love this method, huh? So what are those letters? We talk about the letters I just selected are off of the chip itself. I'll show you again in a second. Now we always verify, and so we had an error reading, so I'm going to press down a little bit harder. I'm going to back out of here. I don't generally get errors that often, but we're going to read again. And I just can't move. I need to be like a stone, like a rock. Oh, the beep was loud. So we'll verify again. If we get an error again, then we're just going to slow it down. So we're going to go down to 15 megahertz now. We'll read again. Now, the slower the megahertz, the slower the megahertz, right? It takes longer. Can't you PC byte it? Yeah, I guess I can. I've never done that before. I'm trying to hold my breath. Yeah, it's a loud beep. I'm sorry, Dave. But I can't really move just to turn it down. Plug your ears. Okay, it's working. What flash tool am I using? So I have a link to this in my video description also. This is a T4800 reader, and it comes with this tool. So it's the XG Pro, which I absolutely love. I've had no issues with it at all. It reads pretty much every single chip. All right, so we had a successful backup. We can read it twice if we want, just to be really, really. Did I say T48? I might have said 4800. Sorry, T48. Rick, hello, hello. Welcome. Oh my gosh, my hand is starting to hurt. Staying still. One more beep. Okay, last beep. Whew. I mean, that stings. That stings, bro. All right, so let me save this off because we need to back up the customer's data. So we always go to backups. I name it the customer ticket, so we can always pull it back. And it's an Alienware M18R1. And then I name it Original, so that way I know it's the original. Makes sense, huh? All right, so we can always go back to that if we need it. But we have a simple task here, because now we don't need to like create a BIOS or try to find a BIOS or make a BIOS or blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to load that one in that we extracted earlier, which was in our downloads. And did you notice this? It's actually the M16R1, the M18R1. It's the same motherboard. It fits in both machines. They just sistered them there. All right, so 32 megs, that's the file. We're going to put it in here. So now we have it loaded in our buffer, and then we're going to write it back on here. And I'm going to hold my breath again. Oh, I'm not in a good position. I can feel it. I'm not holding it good. My face is turning red trying to hold this thing. Did some research on the blink code. I can't see it. The thing's cut off. I can't see what you wrote here. Maybe I can see on the screen. I'm like trying to not to move here. Oh, it's hurting. It's hurting. Oh, it failed. It's because I moved. It was hurting. Sometimes you have to take a break in between. I mean, like my fingers are getting dented trying to press down on there. That's the only downfall, but it's like, oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's try again. Let's try again. We just got to get it just right, and I got to apply right pressure on it. Okay. I need a glove. What I want to make is some apparatus that just like clamps on here and presses down on it. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Wah, wah. Could 3D print a jig. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. All right, let's try again. Yeah, because if I just move a little bit, it messes everything out. Okay, I was trying to find, somebody was writing in there, they did some research on the 2.6, and now I can't find that, where someone was writing that. But flashing a BIOS should be an Olympic result. Dell 7400 came on a couple days ago, and won't boot. The screen freezes. It's no CMOS battery, and incorrect BIOS settings. Any ideas? I mean, it probably was completely dead then, if it did that. If it's not booting, then I bet you're getting a blue screen of death that says inaccessible boot device, and it's going into recovery. So you just need to go in the BIOS. You need to change your boot settings. If it's on RAID, you need to go to UEFI or AHCI, and then if it's on AHCI, then you need to go to RAID, and then you need to make sure secure boot's on. And there you go. You're fixed. Go into 800. Oh my God, my hand is hurting. Okay, let me add a second support hand. Oh, okay. All right, I still can't find whatever that person was writing about doing some research, so if someone can repost that, it'll be great, because I can't find that inside the chat, but I did see something about something. Poor Nathan. Darren, aw. Sympathy. We need a sympathy emote. Don't have one of those. You're old school. Overclocking a Pentium 200 MMX back in the 90s. Yep, that'd be cool. I remember doing it where you had to use like jumpers and stuff, and then you had to get like a Celeron that was unlocked. Oh my God, you're killing me here. All right, I'm just gonna take a break. Look at this. Look at my finger. Look at that. That hurts. Okay. Whoa! All right, I'm just gonna take a break for a second. We can just hang out just for, you know, just a mere moments here while, because it works every time, Dave. What are you talking about? Every time, every time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's annoying when it doesn't, especially when I think it's because I'm talking. That's what it is. I'm sitting here, you know, breathing in, breathing out. I'm a little bit animated, you know, all the good stuff. So I think that's what's causing it. It's because of you and you and you. Clean the pins on the chip. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I slowed down the speed too. What am I drinking? It's coffee with bourbon. No bourbon. Maybe I should drink some water instead. Starts making me kind of bounce off the walls. What microphone do I use? It's very clear. I use these. This is the Rode ME. And then this is the Rode, like it just plugs into it, Rode lapel mic there. And then there's another one of these under my desk that it connects to, and then I have it connected through USB-C. I like it, except when it does this crackly noise sometimes. So I have like videos where it records the audio crackly, and I don't understand why, and I just turn it off and turn it back on and fixes it. We had one night where it was doing that crackly thing. Okay, I think I'm ready to try it again, but this time, yes, I'm going to get it this time. Okay, so this time I'm going to, let me get all positioned, and I'm going to make sure, I mean, I guess I could slow it down even more if I wanted to, but let me move this over so I can see the chat better. That way I can at least have fun while I'm holding this down. Yeah, man. Okay, so I got that down. 3 strikes, you're out. Yeah, so 3 strikes, it means pull the chip, right? Is that what that means? All right, I think I'm lined up good. Yeah, I kind of, if I did bourbon while I'm working, what am I? Oh, I can't see that. What did you say? No talking or breathing. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, where did my screen go? There it is. Well, I hate silence. That seems scary. I can't be silent. Reduce the megahertz. Let's just do it reverse. Reduce the megahertz too. Okay, so I got it good. All right, here we go. So this is going to take extra long, but use a glove, don't talk. So John, I've never used a glove, but that sounds like a smart idea. Now, should I use like winter gloves? Although I'm talking right now. Don't touch the adapter. Maybe I'll talk quietly because I can't move. Reduce the megahertz, longer time, bigger dents. Don't make me laugh. Oh my God. This is always the longest time right here. It always takes the longest right here. Random question, Mark, you're killing me. I can't slow down my heartbeat. I'm drinking too much coffee. Yeah, what's your dilemma? Gosh. This is hard. Oh my gosh. Ion concurs about the gloves. Engage a little softer. Do it slowly. Macro middle, boom. Oh my God, my arm. It's hurting. 10 years later. So slow. This number, speed up number. BIOS ASMR. Yeah, we're getting this. It's going 52%. And it's getting closer. We have 60%. Gosh. Oh no. Is it gonna work? We're almost there. We're almost there. Don't make me laugh. Oh my God, don't make me laugh. Oh my gosh. Don't fart? Are you kidding me? You almost made me, like, just, are you freaking kidding me? You wanted me to start over, didn't you? That's like torture. Okay, we did it. We did it. All right. Okay, well, did we save another laptop? Poll, please. Is this going to fix the issue? So is the BIOS going to be the issue? Is the laptop going to turn on? Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Are we putting a poll up? So we got some yeses, we got some nos. We got some saved another laptop. Should I even plug in this battery? I don't know. I'm not going to plug in the battery because that's how we've been doing it. No poll. Okay, here we're going. We're going in. We're going in. Coming in hot. Oh, the poll's on. So, or it's weird. It only created it on Twitch again. That's because the other one's still going? That's why. That's why. There we go. That's why. We didn't... we have to end the other one. Here's your sign. All right. Okay. There you go. So YouTube can vote too. All right. So the poll's going to go. And so you got to remind me to close the other poll on YouTube. So the Twitch one ends after like 10 minutes or whatever, but the YouTube one doesn't. So that's kind of the issue with that. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we have it's pretty good consensus these days for YouTube and Twitch matching up on what their votes are. So Twitch, I don't know if you noticed, but you have a little vote up there so you can vote. So we're gonna plug it in while you're voting because I'm crazy. All right, here we go. He actually broke. Okay, here we go. So look at the power meter. So 07, 03, 33, 41, and then it turned back off. Is it going to come back on and start cranking the fans again? It's doing the same thing. Wow. I did not expect that, actually. I was very confident. I didn't tell you I was confident, but I thought that we probably had like a, I don't know, very high likelihood. I don't know, probably 80, 90% chance that that would have fixed it. That's crazy. That's crazy. How does Soren say that? Okay, so we'll let it sit here for a moment, but it's not doing anything different. It just kind of is just doing it. So if we press the power button, it still does that same thing. Keyboard stays on. Fans shut off for a second, come back up. So we do have a higher likelihood that we have something really messed up on here. So motherboard's coming out. Motherboard's coming out, man. We could have leaking liquid metal. We could have an LLM situation. Who is Soren? Come on, Darren. Do you ever watch, what's his name? What's his laptop computer repair school or whatever? He's a Romanian wizard. He's from Transylvania, I think. We have picture. So we'll start pulling this thing apart. Battery's unplugged already. Yeah, chipset's probably fried on this, but here's the thing. This is a AMD, so the chipsets can be on the CPU die. There's no separate chipset on these. So, like, not that I'm aware of, at least. Here, I think I have one of these boards. Let me show you one of these motherboards real quick. Yeah, so here's the, this is the R1 version of the Intel. Okay, these are both the same. So NVIDIA, Intel, chipset, right? And these are both the same. And here's the AMD version of the same machine, AMD, and so we have 2 dies right there, right? So I was assuming one's graphics, but one may be the chipset, maybe the longer one's the chipset and one's the CPU, I don't know. And then there's the graphics card there, so. Well, and there's no chipset. So I don't know, I don't know. We will see. We will see. It will be random. It will be excellent. Soren is awesome. So Darren, you really didn't know who Soren was? You're just joshing me. Or maybe you didn't know his name. What I love about Soren is, A, he's like super nice and like he's very, you know, he's not talking bad about anybody or anything like that. But he also speaks in very simple terms. He's not trying to speak over anybody or speak above someone's head. That's what it is. And the same thing, that's what I'm trying to do, right? Using big terms and stuff. But so it's simple logic. Everything's like simple logic. And that's, I think that shows a lot. It allows you to learn a lot easier than quoting a bunch of stuff. Might want to end the polls. Yes, thank you. And won the poll. That was good. And this poll, good. Okay. Clear that off the screen. Thank you so much, moderators. So I'm going to start tearing this apart. Yeah, Dave, thanks for Unbranded. Thanks for posting that. So if you guys haven't watched that channel, watch it. He has a lot of stuff, and there's so many different videos that you're going to get little information out of that you're like, oh, okay, and you can just kind of build on that. Different concepts and ideas. You know, the idea that if you're missing a power rail, that you can create the power rail, blew my mind whenever I was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, I'm missing this. I did a video a while back, this is probably last year, where I was jump starting a laptop and it was missing the 1.05 power rail or 1.2 or something. No, it was 1.05. And so it was missing. And so all I did is I just took a power supply and just stuck it right there on the 1.05 and then turned on the laptop and it worked. So as long as I held that power supply there, it worked. So it's just like those types of concepts. You're like, oh, okay, well, it's just looking for this, and you can actually make things, you know, run. Pretty cool. Oh, let's see. You got any good questions for me? And I learned more from me. Really? You learned more from me? Well, thank you. I'm hoping I have stuff to share, but I feel like he has a lot. He's been doing this a lot longer than me, even actually, he used to do TV repair, and so he understands logic a lot more for some of this stuff. I mean, I didn't go to school, so I'm just a good enough degree guy. Didn't even go to high school. Just learn as I go. Peter has no sound. That's not good. We don't have subtitles, so that's not going to make it very easy for you. Tweezers power rail creation. Yes. Yes, he has his pair of tweezers that he likes to just he's like, okay, I'm going to take this power rail, I'm going to or tweezers, and he pulls it across like that. I'm like, no, you're hurting those tweezers. Quit being so abusive to your tweezers. Do you do desktop PCs? No, my company specializes only in Alienware and Dell laptops. That is it. We stock all the parts and we service those machines, and we've been doing it for 23 years. And it would be a pain to have to ship a desktop computer. I can't even imagine. I ended up buying another 17R4 with a 1080, and I'm still planning on sending the other one to you. Oh, cool. I've been working on a lot of those lately. I feel like I had them back to back to back. And those 17R4s are 7th gen i7s. And so if you get the 17R5, then you get the 8th gen, which are Windows 11 native compatible. So that is something to think about. Secret screw, where art thou? The spine. So if you're ever working on this, they're secret screws right here. There's a little bracket here that holds your USB-Cs. So secret. Don't tell anybody. Boo, boo, boo. Let's see. You like my style better? Yeah, I mean, you know, appreciate that. Do what I can. Do what I can. Sounds like Peter has a problem. So Peter still can't hear me. So quick, everyone type out what I'm saying. So I need somebody to translate right on there, or transcribe the whole thing right now on the fly. Dude didn't get a degree. That's right. 6-figure job, yeah. I mean, I learn as I go every single day, and I spend many, many hours. If I don't know how something works, then I spend the time to try to figure out how it works. That's kind of how that works. So that's how that works. Is your company Dell certified? No, never been Dell certified. Our company's not Dell certified, but here's the thing. Whenever someone calls me and say, I'm Dell certified, those are the people you don't want working on your computer. This is out of experience, by the way. We've had so many people say that they're Dell certified, and they've been the opposite of what you would want working on stuff. They act like they know everything just because they have that certification. Our company has been doing this so long that Dell recommends us on their tech support, and as a place to go outside of warranty. Plus, we stock all the parts, so it makes it a lot easier. But where's that screw at? Ah, here it is. So I don't see the value in it. I mean, I've looked at the material, the Dell certification material, and it's not like anything that would even help me in what we do, because a lot of it is like server related or other, you know, related to other parts of the industry. So, all right, the motherboard is out. So if you look at this machine, again, we have a lot of cooling going on, right? So we have the 3 fans. Most of the side is going to be heatsink. Now, what's interesting is, like, we don't have a chipset on here. We already showed you that. The other version of this board, that's the Intel, does have a chipset here, and so they have extra cooling. I don't know what this is cooling over here, because there's really nothing going on besides shielding of some sort. Now this is the, I think it might be for the battery maybe. Where's the battery plug-in? Yeah, it might be right there for the battery. So that might be the charge coil. That's why it has that there. But let's take this heatsink off. We're going to do a physical inspection, visual inspection, to make sure everything's good. Yeah, certified Dell people generally tend to be board swappers. We used to have guys come in all the time who were in the field service returns or part of the field service techs, and they just swap all the parts. So. You're A+ certified and Microsoft certified engineer, and learn 98% of it yourself. Yeah, so to me, I don't understand, like, having that certification, like, is it supposed to really help you get a job? I mean, do they require it? I guess is the question. You have both the certifications. Now, it's not hurting you to have them, but what I'm saying is, does it help you? Is it because you made the effort to get those certifications that the company will say, hey, you actually did an extra thing? Is that what it is? Because I don't know, if I was hiring somebody and they said, I'm Dell or I'm A+ certified, which again, I haven't taken a single certification. I'm not certified in anything, but besides just kind of figuring it out as I go. All right, so we have liquid metal on both dies. I'll lay this out for you. And they did a really healthy application of it, so I'm very happy with what we're seeing. Whenever you know that we have an issue is whenever it's overflowing out the side of these things. So this one's a little full, but I think we're fine. And this one looks perfect, but it's mixed with heatsink compound. That's why it looks like that. So let's go down here. So GPU die, a little bit of liquid metal mixed with heatsink compound. It's still well within the barrier there, and that looks good. And then this is the CPU and chipset, I guess, right? I mean, can somebody tell me if that's the chipset or if that's the graphic part of the CPU? Because I'm not super familiar with AMD, so you know, you're going to be teaching me on this. You know, one thing I see here, when I always find interesting, so because these are, you have liquid metal here and it's highly conductive, this is all cased in like some sort of resin to protect all the capacitors. Intel doesn't even put them on that side. I'm trying to see if anyone told me if it's a chipset or not. There's two CCDs. That's the CPU. There's two CCDs. One's a small one and one's an SoC in the center. Okay. So, but within there is going to be the graphics and the chipset, I guess, all built in there, right? It's an integrated GPU. Yeah, I mean, that's why I figured it would have like a Radeon or something. But I guess the chipset has to be in this, right? Because there's not another chipset anywhere else. And so the reason why we're talking about the chipset is because that 2.6 error we're getting is pointed to a system board or chipset error. So, I don't know. We're going to just kind of do our physical inspection and figure out if we have any damage. We probably should clean that off, though. I hate this. Whenever we look on, I don't want to flip it over. Maybe I have to put a piece of tape on there. Just trying to think. Should we clean this off? And so when we put it back together, we'll put PTM on there. PTM 7950. Just trying to, I'm thinking out loud here. Sometimes whenever there's liquid metal on there, this factory that looks good, I generally don't mind keeping it on here. Now the fact that I took it off, I don't like, you know. So I think I'm just going to have to clean it in order for us to really do this with safely. And then these pads, I'm going to want to take these off so they don't get stuck to my desk. So we got some cleaning to do. You know what that means. It's time for you to ask me questions while I'm doing boring things. So these Q-tips I'm using, I showed you all these a couple weeks ago. So these were sent to me by Daryl in chat. Thank you, Daryl. Love these Q-tips, by the way. I put them a link in the video description. But these things are, let me show you. I've never had them before, and I don't know where they've been all my life. So on one side, it's very tightly woven, hard. It's not like all the fur is going to come off. And the same thing on this point side. Very easy to get into the cracks here. And it's a wooden dowel stick, or you know, some sort of wooden something. So very high quality. Nothing but the best. Thank you, Daryl. Nothing but the best. All right, so we're going to use that to clean this up. And we're just going to try to pick up some of this. Now, we can experiment with something. Oh, look at this. This is the GPU, and it has all these extra cores there. That's interesting. But I do have an experiment I wanted to try to pick some of this stuff up. Shall we try it? Yeah, we're going to try it. Here, I'm going to leave that blob down there. Let me throw this away. Let me get the syringes. I just bought some syringes. So I bought one of these syringe kits. They just have like just a bunch of these guys. And so we have some of these guys. We just suck up things. Let's see if I find like a pointy one. So one of these dudes. Let me see, because this is how you're supposedly supposed to pick it up. That doesn't look pointy enough for me, but let's see. I don't know about that. So that's not going to work very well. Now, what I wanted to try, the reason why I actually bought this kit, is I want to take one of these smaller ones and then hook a really small tip on it. And then I have my vacuum pump here for my chip pulling. So this is a vacuum pump. It's hooked to a aquarium vacuum pump, and so it has a lot of suction here. So I'm wondering if I could hook a hose to one of these and just suck it up into this reservoir right here. I don't know. That's just an idea. Just an idea. I work with a lot of LLM. Leaking liquid metal. See if I can find a good tip. Let's try one of these tips. Well, that's an excessively long tip. Does it really need to be that long? All right, let's see. I don't want to suck it into my sucker. So what do I need to do? Put some tape on here? I don't know. I done there. I didn't think I was going to be building this right now anyway. Let's see. What if I just put a hole in this plunger? Yeah, LLM stands for leaking liquid metal. That's a new little pun that we're kind of pushing around. And you can buy a shirt in our store. Would you say you use it to charge, wait, just say that you use to charge a customer more, yeah. I don't charge customers more as everything's flat. Anyone want a Coke Zero? Are you going to the fridge? Okay, so here's what I did. I took my vacuum pump's end. I put the rubber gasket that came out of the back of the plunger. I'm going to slide it into this guy. There you go. So now we have a sucker. Let's see. That thing looks very evil. Let me turn on the vacuum pump. Let's see. Got our vacuum pump going. All right, let's see. This thing's a little long though. It's gonna work? Or is it leaking? Come on. Come on, man. I don't know if I like this. Plus this is metal, and I don't want to have it like poking into the, have to be like extra careful. Here, let's see, there's two holes on here, let me see. No, it doesn't like it. Okay, well, that was the end of that. We'll just go back to the old way. I gotta make sure I don't get this stuff everywhere. Need more power. We need Tim the Toolman Taylor on it. Okay, I'll put this away. I plan to have something a little stronger to do a little more suction, but we're just gonna pick up this stuff the old-fashioned way. Won't take too long. It just is just more stuff to do. Oh, that's right. And I want you to ask questions while I'm doing these boring things, but I cannot see the chat. I wish I had a heads-up display right here. That would be super cool, man. Unless I use the camera. Yeah, you don't like PTM, huh? Huh. But I'm the type of person who would hand with thermal X. Huh. Uh-oh. I just splattered it. This is why I don't like this stuff. I splattered it all the way across here. You can see a piece right there. Why is this not picking it up? Uh-oh. Gotta get rid of these syringes here. That was some ASMR closing the bag of syringes. I just need to look and make sure I didn't throw a blob all the way across here anywhere. So I see that blob there. I'll get it in a second. I just want to make sure I don't have anything else. There's the EC chip. But we're not doing our physical inspection yet. Right now we're having to clean before we do anything. Why won't that pick up? There we go. Got it. Okay, I think we're good. But we haven't even finished doing this. I'm already tired of cleaning this thing, and I haven't even started. I'm telling you, it's like misery, because you can't just take a paper towel. People will just think you're, oh, just take a paper towel, wipe it down, but it gets everywhere off the paper towel. So you have to pick up as much as you can first. That's why I was kind of thinking just like cover it up and then deal with it later. Pay it forward to myself later. Not pay it forward, I guess, kick the can down the road, because I would have to deal with it later anyway. Yes, should I get some of the liquid, the Northridge Fix liquid metal remover on here? See if that works. Certified. It's NF liquid metal remover, NF dot liquid metal remover. Look at this, see? This is not easy. I wish my little vacuum pump worked. Vacuum up these little guys. Maybe this little syringe thing will work now. It just doesn't have a... I don't know. Okay. The Dell only applies it to some Alienwares and some G series. Anything that has a high-end CPU. It's really the CPU they put it on, and then I guess this GPU. They generally don't put it on the GPUs, but it's really the CPU they put it on. I'm bored. Is this ASMR though? We have to get every ball. Just collect them into a pile. Just a happy little ball. Okay, got those. Nice. Aluminum foil. Somebody said that. It's kind of scary to do that because, I mean, I could do like a little piece, but the thing is anything bigger than what you're working with in this isolated area, you would not know if you had, it's like kind of like stepping in paint with your socks on, you know, like if you're, or shoes, you know, you don't know if you're stepped in it and you start tracking it around the house. It's like you have to have everything very controlled. So I always paint in bare feet. It sounds weird, but like if I'm painting in the house, then I know if I got paint on my feet. Sounds weird, but that's exactly how I handle it so I don't start tracking it everywhere. Soak a paper towel in isopropyl alcohol. Well, again, like, so if I put alcohol in this, if I can prime this here. So alcohol makes it run away even more. So that's why I do it dry. And if I put a paper towel on it, it's too big. So if I did like a little piece of paper towel, maybe, but again, you want just a little dot gets somewhere. So without doing this under the microscope, you never know if you get everything. So I feel like we got pretty much everything here. I mean, there's these little dots. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if I can get that piece. All right. Now we got to go to round two. Hey, hey. Brake cleaner. That's what, yeah, brake cleaner cleans everything, right? Don't use wipes. Yeah, you don't want to use any of that stuff. Is it magnetic? No. People ask about that. Is it magnetic or can you use a solder sucker? You can't. So here's a magnet right here, a neodymium. It's not magnetic. Use sticky tape. I've done that before actually. So if I use a piece of Kapton tape, I tried that and said, oh, this is a great idea. But the scary thing is whenever you pull it off, it like flicks everywhere. I don't want to try it. So whenever you have some areas stuck and some areas not stuck, it like, and again, this stuff flies everywhere. I know this is so entertaining. So good. So satisfying. And we're going to spend all this time and then we're not going to be able to fix this machine because it has a fried chipset. Is that what you're thinking? That's exactly what I'm thinking. Don't know why you're not using wipes. I'm just throwing each Q-tip away because I don't want to contaminate anything else. What kind of wipes are you talking about? What kind of wipes are you talking about, man? You don't know how messed up this stuff is. You don't know how many people have sent in their machine going, I changed out, I took the liquid metal off, and I cleaned off everything, but I don't know why it's not turning on, and I find liquid metal on the board, just a little drop somewhere or somewhere else. And so it's just hard to tell if they got it all. So that's why you really have to be very careful. I've cleaned this enough to not like it. And I've seen catastrophes, LLM events. Okay, I'm going to say this is good enough for right now, just for what we're going to do. Let's just get these last couple drops. There we go. Okay. So I think it's going to be good enough. We could try wiping it a little bit. I'm going to use just a tiny little piece, like this big, with some alcohol. But I don't want to do anything too big because I don't want it to spread anywhere else. And we're going to keep it isolated in there. I'm going to fold it in on itself. There we go. Okay. All right, do you concur? Okay, physical inspection, go. Or visual inspection, whatever we want to say. It is time. It is time for the physical inspection. Okay, so we're going to start in this corner. And so the idea with this is, everyone concurs. The idea with this is we're going to go around and we're going to look for any burnt components, cracked components, knocked off components. They said they didn't open this up, so I don't think it's a knocked off component. Oh, that's right. I wanted to save these guys. Let me take these little stickies off so we don't lose them. Let's see, it goes this way. It's always good to kind of line up where you are taking it off to put it back over where it goes. And they are sticky. Sticky, icky, icky. There we go. This one's going to go right there. And I don't want to rip them either. Well, I might be able to keep these on here. I just don't want to get them really dirty, but they are lower than the die, so I'm not going to worry about it when I flip it over. So that was the main one I wanted to worry about. And this one. And this one right here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's that one go? It goes way over here, I guess. It's a weird setup. Okay, friendly reminder. All right, we'll start in this corner. We're gonna sweep around. If I missed something y'all were talking about, just kind of type it again. I'll try to keep an eye up there. I do get distracted. I apologize if I can't keep up with all your comments. But you can ask questions about this repair, not about your machine. If you have problems, questions about your machine, we do have a Discord that y'all can ask your questions and get some assistance. We have a lot of people in there. That's gonna be the JFix Discord. I'm just a member. Okay, so here's our CPU, like I said. Here's gonna be our power stages, where we're gonna be looking around here for anything. Now, I do have my polarizer on, so things look a little bit different or weird to me. So it may make some colors look a little different too. What is that? I've never seen that before. Thanks for the follow. I've never seen one of those, actually. That's funny. Huh. So that must be the PD controller, I'm assuming. It has a big heat sink. I mean, it has a thermal pad for it. I'll have to remember to put that back. And so here's a BIOS chip for something over here, probably the Thunderbolt or something like that. And so maybe that's the Thunderbolt chipset or whatever Thunderbolt controller. All right, I just took that off so we can look over here for anything physical. All right, so we're going to work our way across. I don't see anything there. Don't see anything. Start going down. This is some sort of like compound, and look, I see some liquid metal right here. Now, how did liquid metal get there? We didn't even go over there. See what I'm saying? And that's why I'm looking at it very closely. But there's definitely liquid metal right there in this corner. So we can lower this down. Do you see that? Like, how is that possible? Right? Is this from the factory? There's no way that I got the liquid metal there. I mean, whenever I did that little fling thing we were talking about, it went down a little bit. That AS Media, that was the USB controller. Okay. USB 3.0. Okay. I just never seen a chip like that. It looks crazy. So we'll try picking this little piece of liquid metal off of here, and you can see it kind of swept across there. So I'm wondering if we have, like, what's this? Why? So I was thinking that that's some sort of like evidence of like just this sticky pad or something, but why would it almost be in the same pattern here? We're being detectives right now, so because we have some pieces of liquid metal across there. That'd be interesting if we have LLM going on here. There's liquid metal right here on the board. Look at that. See if I can get it off. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we're going to have to look a little bit closer now. What is this? I mean, I don't think this has ever been opened up. So I think this would have to be factory, them accidentally getting a drip somewhere during factory. This type of oozing stuff is going to be on the pads. I'm just going to tuck this back just a little bit while we look through here. I just want to make sure we don't have any other evidence around here. Yeah, there's still just a little bit there. I'm going to use my finger to pick it up. Sometimes it actually is easier to use your finger. This type of stuff here, that's just oozing out of the pads again. All right, so we're going to continue down. Got another little WinBond chip. Not a BIOS chip, but it's some sort of firmware chip for something. But so a lot of times you'll see capacitors. These are all the capacitors. These are be connected across a power rail of some sort that acts as filters. So you'll have one side hooked to ground, one side hooked to the positive power rail of whatever its choice is, 3.3, 5 volts, 19 volts, whatever. And so you'll get a crack on those a lot of times if we have a short on the board. Now, right now we're just doing our physical inspection. And then afterwards, we'll start to measure some stuff, but we could go around and start measuring aimlessly, but we want to figure out if we have anything obvious first. Again, look at that. That's some liquid metal right there. It's a tiny amount, but I don't know. I mean, do you think I did that? Or is that factory? I don't understand. Or it's stuck to something, right? That's kind of the other thing is like, oh, it gets everywhere. But I think it's just kind of factory issues. So we want to keep an eye on this stuff. Make sure we don't have anything under here. There's our crystal oscillator. All right, that's all clear. Okay, so here we're working on, this is gonna be the power stages for the GPU. Those all look good. This is all, again, this is gonna be the oozing that comes out of those pads. Ultrasonic cleaner, we could ultrasonic cleaner it. You know, I am not 100% sure that ultrasonic cleaners get all the liquid metal out. I'm thinking about doing a test where we cover the freaking thing in liquid metal, try to clean it up, and then throw it in an ultrasonic cleaner and see if it cleans the rest of it up. I don't know. we're going to have to do something. All right, so these are the VRAM modulars. That's just a cooling pad for the VRAM. All right, there's our MIPS chip, MPS. Okay, that all looks good. There's a fuse. Should we test the fuse while we're at it? The fuse is good. I've really only had a couple fuses ever bad, so I'm not surprised. All right, so we made it back around over there. Now we're going to come back around. We just need to keep working our way around the board. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going a little slow with this, but it's because that liquid metal now, I saw that, and that's going to make me think a little bit, go a little slower. I've seen a short on this particular board before in this area, so we're going to have to check that. There's going to be our EC chip. Again, I wish I had a heads-up display inside the microscope because I can't see what you're saying without me looking over here. So you guys just talking amongst yourselves, I guess. It's hard for me to reply all the time. So weird how some of this stuff is just not populated. It's like, why would that be a no stuff? What option would they have put there to do a no stuff? Like this stuff. Like, what are we doing? You know, maybe they'll just install it later and they just charge you a subscription for it. That seems like everything's going to that now, right? That's just the pads. All right, so here, this is the input stuff. That looks like the protection MOSFETs or charge coils. There's going to be our power management chip. And does it look weird? It looks fine, but some of these resistors are kind of funky. But it looks okay. That's the charge coil, I believe. There's our current sense resistor. I don't know what power supply that is. And we got a daughter board. Yeah, we'll probably use the thermal camera to see if we see what's actually getting hot when it's trying to come on at that 14 watts. This is our daughter board. We'll probably unplug the daughter board to see if that changes anything. So I flipped the board over now. We worked on one of these a while back, I believe, or maybe I did a video. I can't remember. That lightning strike, and this daughter board had a burn in it. Maybe I did a video. I haven't posted it yet though, but I know I worked on one that did this. It will be coming out soon then if we didn't do it live. There's where the DC jack plugs in. That's where the battery plugs in. Here's our RAM. Actually, before I unplug the RAM, I just want to test to see if we have a short on the RAM power rail, since it's a common thing. I had one in. Oh no, it was Sunday. Y'all were here Sunday. Who was here Sunday? Raise your hand. No. Sunday we had one of these in, and it had this short on the power rail here for the RAM, and it ended up being RAM. We just took out a stick of RAM. It was fine. So I'm just going to check it. You're freaking kidding me. Freaking kidding me. You're freaking kidding me. What? What? Okay, so if you missed it, so again, like I've worked on so many of these, this machine is notorious for having a short on the 5-volt power rail that powers the DDR5 memory. And if you're unfamiliar with the DDR5 memory, at least laptop memory, I don't know how it is for desktops, but laptop memory has kind of its own little power supply here that creates its own power rails on every stick of memory. And so the laptop will supply 5 volts to the stick, and then it produces its own power rails. So we just witnessed this power rail, which is commonly shorted. We just witnessed a freaking short on it. And we went through and flashed the BIOS and pulled the motherboard and because it said 2.6. It was giving us the wrong symptoms. You don't give us the wrong symptoms, buddy. It's supposed to be a 3.5. That's it. All right, so on Sunday stream, it ended up being the RAM. We just took out the RAM and the freaking short went away. So guess what we're doing? We're taking out the RAM. Let's see. Ah, it is not the RAM. It is not that easy. But I can tell you right now, I'll tell you which capacitor it's going to be. Let's see, which capacitor? Step right up, get yourself a capacitor. You know what? We didn't have to pull that damn heatsink off either. Oh, that's killing me. Okay, so it's going to be, okay, so there's no real vote that you can do unless we say quadrants or something like that, but it's going to be one of these four, one of those three, or, oh, this layout's a little different because there should be another set somewhere, but it's usually over here, so maybe that one, there was like another set. So it's at least going to be those four or one of those three. All right, so I'm going to zoom in. I want everyone to kind of psychologically do it, or you could say set of three top, set of three bottom. There's no real poll you can do, okay? But, so we're going to say, so there's our first three. So look real close. I mean, this one looks a little sussy because it has those little marks there. Now let me see if it wipes off. It did wipe off, so the sus has been cleared out. All right, and then we'll look at, and it could be not even these seven that we're showing you. So I could be like completely off base. I feel like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Or it's going to be one of these four. And it could be some magical one. So the third option would be some other one that I don't know anything about since I'm an idiot and did all this other extra work for no reason. But it's part of the entertainment. Okay. All right. So does everyone have their kind of thing in their head? All right. Here we go. So, all right. I'm going to, we're going to switch the thermal camera. Go thermal, but I don't think I have the thermal camera on or set up, so let's set that up. Okay. Go thermal. All right, so this is that new thermal camera. This is actually going to show off how it works really well because of the focusing ability, or the ability to show detail on smaller items. So let me get this kind of lined up here. Okay, I got to get this focused. See, it looks like crap to me, but it's fine. It's like after it starts actually heat going into it, then it works. Here, actually, I'm just going to plug in the charger and see what it does, because we may actually see it right off the bat. Okay, we saw something come on over here. And then we see this, we see that area, and it shut off. So it still looks really, is it not focused good enough? Seems like it should get focused better than that. I'm telling you, here, watch this. I'm going to use my hot air station. I'm going to heat up the motherboard a little bit. And the detail actually gets a lot better. See that? So now I've heated the board, and then now I can actually see the board better, and then now I can focus. But still, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to plug it in one more time. So I'll point to the top ones. So here's our top fours up here, and here's our bottom four down here, or three down here. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's down here somewhere. It's going to be over here. So I'll do voltage injection, so that way we don't have to sit there and heat the CPU up. Although the CPU is not coming on all the way because we're only using, that's true. The CPU is not coming on, right? Because we're only pulling 14 watts. There's no way the CPU is coming on. So I'm going to plug that back in. We're going to put it in macro mode. We'll come all the way up. We really got to figure out if this thing is worth the freaking 300 bones. $300, come on, man. I mean, it's not telling me anything. I think did we say it was the middle? Is that what we're thinking? I'm gonna put it on that view real quick. I don't like this. My other one, I don't have the focus either. It's irritating me. I'm thinking it's this one based on what we just witnessed, but I'm telling you, I don't need to have this macro crap to do this. This is like, you're making me work. I don't want to work. So we'll inject some voltage here. 0.4, we don't need much. I'm gonna put it right here on the side of the coil. And then I'm gonna put our friend ISO, his name is ISO, by the way, put him right there. Oh, I can see the crack. We're gonna blow this thing out of the water here. We're going up to 1 volt. Y'all ready for an explosion? No, it's not gonna explode, but it's gonna get really hot, really fast. Y'all ready for sizzle, sizzle? Y'all see it? Middle, question mark, yes. Kaboom. Y'all wanna see it again? So alcohol on here. See how the middle one got completely dry? Yeah, it doesn't get clearer than that. Now, I sat there, you know, we have macro mode. I held that thing up. I couldn't tell what was going on. Yeah, maybe the P2 is better with that macro lens, and then you can hold it wherever you want. Because I have it mounted to my microscope, it makes it hard to kind of do this. I want to know if everyone concurs that it's the middle one. Come on, give me some concurs out there. I want everyone in chat to give me a concur. And you know what I just figured out too? I want to do a test, okay? So we have 56 viewers on Twitch right now, okay? Now, Twitch, focus, 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 look at me. Twitch is no longer counting people if they're just watching and they're not chatting. Or they're not, everyone concurs, thank you. Now, if everyone in chat right now and on Twitch, you don't have to say anything more than just like, you know, yes or okay, or you can write concur. But I want everyone to do it, and I want to see if that view count goes up. Because I saw someone on a stream the other day do that, and then the view count went up because they're actually not counting everybody. So, Twitch, kill it. Dump a bunch of whatevers in there. Hey, we got a first-time chatter, good job. We got a second-time chatter, first-time chatter. Perfect. Yeah, so it's weird. They're just not counting people. So, anyway, we're going to take this darn thing off. Everyone concurred with me. We concur! And this will be fixed, and we didn't have to flash the BIOS. Now, we probably should put their old BIOS back on. Womp womp, because it has their service tag in it. So that's what we'll have to do. But maybe the service tag may be stored inside the EC chip, so we may get lucky. We may get lucky. Thank you for all the first-time chatters on Twitch. I appreciate it. I know it's kind of hard whenever you're a lurker and you just want to watch. But you can see our view count went up to 60 already, just from you starting to actually participate. It's part of the fun anyway, is to participate. So how are we going to get this stupid thing off of here? It's really, really tiny. Where's my quarter at? Where's my quarter? There you go. I should have a penny, it would be better. But so there's our quarter. It's smaller than the letter Q. And yeah, so we could just be like, and boom, we knock that thing off, right? But these things aren't on there like on a cell phone or something. So we're going to use these $300 tweezers here, hot tweezers. But guess what? This motherboard is like 32 layers thick. It's not really that thick, but it's really thick. And so you can't use hot tweezers on this because it's going to be too hot or too thick. So you have to use hot tweezers and hot air. Combination, man. So what flux should I use, though? That's the question. What flux should I use? Should I use NF dot flux with air bubbles as a feature? Antec 213 or 559 Amtech, or mystery flux from AliExpress that looks like gross stuff. Let's see, hand lotion. We got to vote for hand lotion, which is the NF dot flux. I like how he has dot on everything. Animal fat flux. Oh, that would be crazy. Ugh. Okay, 559 is what we're going to use. It looks like most people said that. 213 is what I like the most, or the best. I've been trying to use some other ones. Now each one's a little bit different. The lotion one, which is the NF dot flux, the reason why I keep it around is because there's a lot of people still new in chat who have not seen this stuff in action, so that's why I always kind of offer it. But we will do the Amtech 559. I bought all this stuff from Northridge Fix, by the way, so he got my money regardless. Bacon. Oh, we should make some bacon lotion. You know, so Northridge is making another version of his flux that's for higher temperature, so he should have bacon smell added. Or didn't Black Horse? Black Horse, are you here? No, he may be here on Sundays, not. But he made a lotion, or not a lotion. He made a flux and sent it over to Northwest Repair, and so maybe we can have bacon flavor added to his. What about a hot sauce, Tabasco? All right. So anyway, these are literally $300 hot tweezers that plugged into my Metcal MX500. It was crazy. Like the holders were $260, and then these points were another $60, and they still cannot get this off. Like if I sit here and hold it all day, it won't work. So I have to use 300 degrees C. So I use 300 degrees C, so I'm not worried about like melting anything. It will melt one side, but it won't melt the other side. So I have to do both at the same time. Oh, bourbon flux. I didn't think about that. You know, and it needs some sort of like evaporating agent, like isopropyl. So I guess you can have some double oaked bourbon, barrel bourbon in there. I would really like that. Soul flux. Let your soul flux, let it shine on. See, I can't even get that off of there. Now I should add some lower melt solder on here. But this board is thick. There it goes. It's coming. It's coming. There it is. Got it. All right. And I didn't even totally melt the other side. If you can actually see, the ground side of this did not even all the way melt. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, these boards are sinking up the freaking heat. Hot. Let your soul flux. I'm all tangled up here. What's going on? Got my wires crossed. All right, I'm gonna add some lower melt solder on here, just like some 183. 183C. And this is so tiny. It's tiny. You can tell I'm getting a little bit delirious because I'm starting to sing every single word or sentence I'm saying. Come on. There we go. All right, look at all that. Look at all that. Put too much on there. It's a lot. Need some more fluxity flux. There we go. You see how it like was all sticking together? All the solder kind of like made that mold, and I just added flux, and then it ran just right. Oh, I didn't want to connect those. Oops. There we go. I need to take away some of that. Clean off my tip. All right, let's grab a new one. I got some brand new ones here because I replaced them enough. So if you want to know what value it is a 6.3 volt, 22 microfarad, 0802 or 0402. So it's always this one. It's always that row that does it. So do you think the 300? I mean, they may be defective, or maybe it's my power brick. It's a Metcal MX500, but I've had that same power. I don't know the supply for the soldering iron, and it doesn't have a temperature setting on it. It's just one temperature. You just flip it on. So it may be something to do with the age of that, because I've had that forever. Thank you. Thank you, chat. I will check for shorts. Gosh, man, you're on it. I was just like, it's done. This thing's fixed. We can actually turn the actual machine on. We should do that. So we'll measure right there. And the short is gone. Will it turn on? Yes, it will turn on. And I don't know where I didn't even look at the freaking thing. I bet it's cracked on the other side. I don't know what I did with it. I was gonna, because a lot of times when we look at it, I think I was distracted. I didn't know. Oh well. Like, it's so tiny you can't see it, you know, so you have to kind of stick it to your finger. All right, so we're good. We concur. I can proceed to install a new one of these guys. What brand of flux do you use? You're getting into repairs. So I'm using the Amtech 559 or Amtech 213. The 213 is what I prefer, but I would get it one of each if you were so inclined. You want to try to get some OEM stuff. The place that I've bought it from is Northridge Fix, so I don't know exactly where to get it that's OEM for sure without, you know, I don't know, not knowing for sure, like, because you can buy it from Amazon and you don't really know if you got it OEM or real stuff. So, and Northridge Fix is not carrying any of the 559. I think he still has some 213, so you can get that from him and just start with that. That's going to be a little whiter and milkier, but that's my speed. But right now we're using 559. It's the 9th dimension. Yes. We're going to have to come up with a different saying because that's his saying. I don't like using somebody else's phrase, so we'll have to come up with a different saying for that. New song. The short is gone. Will it turn on? The heat is on. The heat is on. Alex stopped selling 559. Yes, so he stopped selling it, but he does have 213, from last I heard at least. The last rant I heard coming out of his mouth, he talked about selling the 213 still, but maybe it was just extra stock or something. But I bought a couple tubes of each before he stopped. All right, so we have our thing ready to go. Good. Yeah, no, I don't think these hot tweezers are defective. It's just really these motherboard is so thick. I don't, because I can't even, the ground plane, because I can solder the other side. It's the ground plane that is what's not melting. So, there we go. There we go. Let's see, it worked that time because I had lower melt solder on there. So if I would have added lower melt solder, then it probably would have worked. And now I just hit it with a regular soldering iron just to clean it up. Big Boss, thank you. Oh, does he sell it? You know, I was just going to ask him, but it's a big giant tube of it, right? I was just down there this weekend. I saw him. He had these really big tubes of it, but I didn't ask him if he was selling it or not. All right. You guys happy with that? It's funny because it looks a different color, but it's funny if you spin it over or spin it around, it has different colors. It's like a two-sided jacket. What am I looking for? Okay, so we're going to clean this. Some isopropyl alcohol, 99%er. And then we got a Chem pad. And we just put it there, brush, put it there to pick up the residue. So I just kind of go back and forth with it. And we want to make it look like nothing has ever been done to this board in its whole life. Okay. So now that waste of time is out of the way. That was ridiculous. That was so ridiculous. Can we zoom in? Can we get a zoom in? Do you want to zoom in on it? A zoomy zoom zoom. And a boom boom. Where'd it go? All I want to do is a zoom zoom zoom. So, is that good enough? Here, let me get rid of some of the alcohol. We got one big bubble on one side a little bit, but you know what's interesting? That one, like these look the same size. It says a different color, but this one looks like a little bit smaller than that. But I don't know what size that would be, because these are like 0603s, those are 0402s. So what size would that be? 0301 and a half or something? Anyway. Do you like my extra solder on the side? Makes it aerodynamic for speed. And more heat sink, right? Keeps the chip cooler. It can't, there's no way that chip will ever go out again. You just followed. Thank you. Thanks for the follow. Have my alerts been working? I just noticed I haven't really noticed my alerts. Has anyone else noticed the alerts? I don't know if my sound's turned on or maybe I'm just distracted. Quick, someone hit the follow button or join a membership. I need to see if it's working. Where's the memory at? I got some cheers, so the alert works. Gritty, you're always good for a cheer. Thank you. So yeah, the alerts are working. I guess I just didn't notice. Maybe turn this up a little bit. Will it work? Thank you for the poll. So we have a poll up there. Twitch, 58 people. There's a poll right at the top of your screen there. So go vote. And I'm going to vote too. I just voted. Lost Soul just followed. So yes, the alerts are working. But guess what? We still have more tasks to do, and maybe I'll do it off camera because, I don't know. Do you really want to watch me flash the BIOS back and everything again? So I'm going to clean off this, and we're going to put some PTM 7950 on it because I know it's going to work. Or should I just put my Arctic Silver on there? Usually I put Arctic Silver on when I don't think the board's going to work. Or if I don't know, because I don't want to waste the PTM because it's expensive. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to work. So we'll do PTM 7950. Some people probably haven't seen that happen or how to do that anyway. Oh, we got some pimples. There's some pimples on here. I can feel it. We got, oh, we're getting more haters. It's all right. Come on and hate, man. Be a hater. I love everybody. All right, so here's our CPU cooler. We're just going to try to get the rest of this liquid metal off of here. LLM situation. All right. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll leave like a little dot of this liquid metal in the middle whenever I put Arctic Silver on, if I did that. But if I'm going PTM, I'm going to take it all off of here. Although there's a dam, so if it does leak, it's not a big deal. Look at that. That became rock hard. Whatever that was, it's rock hard. It's a piece of liquid metal. It became rock hard. Yeah, so it's not going to be thermal paste we're putting on. We're going to put it on PTM, but yeah, putting a tutorial out there. Now, everyone's different on how they do it, and If you're doing it on a desktop CPU, it's different than doing it on a laptop CPU. So it's kind of hard to take a good reference on it. But if you're working on a laptop, then you can follow what I'm doing. Just a happy little liquid metal ball right here. See, it flicks very easily. Gosh, it's hard to get it all. All right, so now I'm just gonna wipe the rest of that off. Yeah, I'm only allowed to hate liquid metal. Everyone else I love, but liquid metal I hate. Look, that's textured. I've never seen textured. Huh, that's interesting. Has anyone seen a textured heatsink before? That's interesting. How does that work? I mean, that must be filling a lot of pits with the heatsink compound. Do you see that? It's like, I mean, it's not super textured, but again, you could see the tool marks. And like this is smooth, but that coating is actually going to be liquid metal approved. Now the other ones are not. So you can see that it has a separate coating here for the liquid metal, but we still have some pimples going on. Or measles, or whatever we want to call it, where the liquid metal is eating into it. Reacting with it. And I was told apparently my wedding ring is gold and it will react with the gallium inside this liquid metal too. So I need to be careful. Yeah, liquid metal not directly on the copper. I don't know what this other metal is though, that they're trying to use to protect it. Oh, there we go. That piece came off really easy, that measle. Now, if that was copper, it would have been eating right into the copper clad there. All right, so I don't think we have to get all of it off. We are within the, whatever you call it, the dam. So I think we're okay. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to close the poll. Everyone is very, very satisfied with what I'm going to do. So polls ended. It looks like the consensus is it's going to work. Correct. So I'm going to get the board out, put some PTM on there. So the stuff that I'm using right now, this is an official Honeywell PTM. So you can see the Honeywell badge here. I think I have a link to some inside the video description, but it's a link on Amazon, and I think it's been hit and miss. So I've ordered some that looks like it's not real, and I've ordered some that is real. So, you know, you don't know what you're getting on Amazon. It's always that stuff. So if you want this official stuff, lttstore.com. This is the Linus Tech Tapes version of it. Again, supporting other YouTubers. I'll just do a zoom in. We'll just do it on the overhead camera. How's the RAM? Did I install it already? So I installed the RAM. Let's just measure to make sure the power rail is not shorted after we put the RAM in there. It's not shorted. RAM's usually going to be good. It's going to be isolated from that short. That short's kind of just jumping a bridge. It's almost like a shortest path, so it's not going to damage anything. You know, I've never put any PTM on one of these before because, yeah, I've just never had to. So what I do in general is I kind of set this across here and I start kind of making an imprint like that, just so I can see the line, because you never know how big it's going to be. And so now you can see kind of a crease there, and then I'll flip it over, and then you can see the crease a little bit better, and I cut it. And from what I could tell, there's not any particular side to take off. There may be one side that's thicker than the other side. I've never been able to tell, so I just kind of take off whatever side I want. And there's like a film on each side. And we're going to put it on top of there like that. And I like to apply pressure to make sure it's really stuck, and then we're going to have to try to peel this off peel off the other protective coating without peeling it up off of there. You have Honeywell pads all over your PC. Yeah, I really like this stuff. Now, there's supposedly a newer, this is 7950, there's supposedly a newer version that I'm not familiar with, but okay, we're gonna pull this back. What we don't want is it to pick it up here. It's just hard if it's not stuck all the way. Let me apply some more pressure. There we go. And just do it slowly. Come on. There we go. A little air bubble there, but it'll be okay. All right, so this is phase changing. So when it heats up, it actually liquefies. So we are good on that one. So now we'll just do this other one. Let's do that one first. Another reason why I don't usually apply this when I'm testing is it costs a lot of money, but then it also takes some time, right? Because I could just squirt on some Arctic Silver and then it will be ready to go. We could already be booting it up. And I usually do it a little bit oversized from the die, just so it overhangs just a little bit. The cutouts universal for all CPUs and GPUs. What cutouts are we talking about? Like the cutouts I'm doing right here? Because I'm cutting them out myself, so I don't know what you mean. Let's do that one. For CPUs, do it just as one square size for the CCD. Do you just do it for the whole thing? Instead of one for each? Just let it overflow? Like I said, I've never actually put one on here before, on this one. So, I don't know. Yeah, what I'm cutting. Well, I'm cutting it to size. It's just one sheet. This whole thing was like one big giant sheet like this big. LTT usually says to put the PTM in the freezer. Oh, smart. Yeah, that would have been really smart. Yeah, I've never did that before. I guess I should take that advice. What if I stored it in there? Oh, okay. PTM 7958 is a pre-mixed version of SP, and 7950 is typically sold as a pre-formed version. Okay. Again, I haven't tried any of that stuff, so I'm just going by what we have here. 10 and let's see. Yeah, if this was cold right now, it'd be easier. All right, there we go. Peel this one off. would be easier. Like I'm trying to make sure it sticks without peeling it back off. There we go. Got it. Sometimes I'll actually use the die itself to cut it by kind of rubbing on it. Like that. You can see how this edge just came off. Okay. All right. So that took a lot longer because we were making sure that we put that on there. That means this better darn work, right? Because that took so much longer. Okay, we need to put this back on. That goes here. And then that had a pad right there. Okay, what else? Am I missing anything else? I already put these other pads on the heatsink itself. Those pads are there. I moved that one over. I moved that one over. That one's on there. We're good? We're good. All right. So now here's the trick. It's like because this heatsink's so huge, you cannot find where the screw holes are. So I always just kind of really focus before I set it down. I've seen one of my techs set this down on like one of the VRAMs and start trying to screw it. I was like, no, don't do that. What are you doing? This was like years ago, or this was last year actually, a year and some ago. He's no longer with me. Anyway, so we got that done. Used freezer spray, which I did have some of that, and I ran out, and I just haven't bought another thing of it. Okay, yeah, I killed him. That's why he's not here anymore. I put him in the freezer with the PTM. Okay. Oh, did not say that. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is that my desk is a horror show, and we have a mess on here now. And this is all thanks to this LLM situation. We have lots of LLM situations around the world, and one of them is right here. I'm going to clean up this horror show real quick before we continue. Real quick, not slow, not moderate, quick. This was a lot of filler just to turn the damn thing on. Don't you agree? Canned inverted spray, yep, I do have some of that right here. So you can spray some of this because it just puts straight Freon out, right? And you just hold it like that and then you have the Freon come out. I've done that plenty of times, but I am out of that spray. I usually have cases of it delivered, but I have not reordered it. Okay, we are clean. All right, so the vote said that it will work. I'm very confident it will work. That's why I spent all the extra time trying to install that PTM. We're going to plug in the fans. And if it does work, then I'll put the BIOS on later and we can start on another computer because it doesn't make sense to sit here and have to put the BIOS back on unless y'all are really eager for me to fail putting that on. That's so funny that it did this. A 2.6 error. Okay, so I'm going to have to make a mental note. If you're getting a 2.6 error on an AMD system, it could be the RAM having a shorted RAM power rail. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Do you agree or do you concur? Yes, I need to make sure that I'm asking the right questions to get the right answer. Any reason to check other coils? I don't know. I feel like I just want to go for it. I've fixed so many of these. Like I said, I fixed 3 of these last week in one day with the same issue. And I mean, they were all Intel version, but they were all a 16-inch version. 3 in one day. So I think we're fine. I want this thing to just light on fire now. And this thing, the Intel version has like a 5-minute CMOS reset. I think we're going to be a lot shorter on this because it's the AMD version. So I think it should start up pretty fast. I don't even need all these cables plugged in, but I'm going to do it. This cable's like the webcam or something. I'm not going to worry about that. That's the power button. I need that. Okay, CMOS reset, 10 seconds. DDR5, 10 minutes. Maybe 10, I don't know. It's like the CMOS reset on these are like so long, or the Intel version, because it's like having to rewrite the EC chip and do all sorts of stuff. It's crunching some numbers. It must be doing some sort of RAM training, but it doesn't take that much longer. Like if I just took out a stick of memory, it should like, you know, if it was going to have to retrain for the memory, it would take a lot longer, but it doesn't take that much longer. All right, we got a couple screws in there. Let me add one more on this edge over here. And we'll go with battery in, I guess. We haven't plugged the battery in yet the whole time, but should we just do it with no battery? I'm going to do it with no battery just because that's how we've been doing it. And that way we're kind of sticking with the same MO on everything. Let's get our meter lined up. Okay. Did I program? Did I program the PD controller? I don't think we need to do it. But the BIOS is what we had reprogrammed. So it has a fresh BIOS on here. And to whether their BitLocker key has been wiped out because of me or their service tag has been wiped out, I'm gonna have to put it back on. But right now we're just gonna see if it works. We have a backup, so nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. So I plugged it in, power meter, 0.05, 1 amp. So that's a lot more than we had before. So we're at 33 watts. Fans are cranking though. Here we go. We're blasting off, which is okay, I think, if it's doing a CMOS reset. A little bit different in the Intel version. So the Intel version is going to be sitting at 60 watts. We're sitting at 40 watts. So we'll see. There we go, 60 watts. That's good. 76. Fans shut off. And I'm going to make it so you can see the screen. Okay, 54 watts. So again, I said that the Intel was set at 60 for a while. There's a clear sticky on the bottom of the fan. Oh, that's one of the little clear films for the PTM. Yeah, I'll take it off of there. Thank you. It's kind of weird. It's cranking back and forth. As long as we see this current kind of moving around. So 53, we went up to 60 or 70 at one point. It jumped to 90. Okay, so if it jumped to 90, that's good. So it's going through a bunch of like training. Now we're at 50, 48, 51. Come on, where's it going to go? Fuzzy clearing mode. I like that. LM short? I hope not. We're going to let it sit here, and if it's going to do a CMOS reset, or maybe it doesn't like the BIOS we put on there, which that should work just fine. That should be flawless because we did it. It should be flawless, I tell you. we're not getting a flashing code. So before we were getting that, we also weren't pulling much current before. But we're going to let it wait. We may end up getting a code here. We could also turn it off. Yeah, it's going to be one of these things, RAM training or CMOS reset, since we don't have a battery plugged in. I only have a 240 watt plugged into this. It's supposed to take a 330, but I think I can run it off the 240 with no battery. Yeah, I'm not optimistic now. See how it's just hanging there at 51.9 watts or 2.6 amps. Oh, it went up just a tad. It's actually just because the voltage is sagging a little bit. Concur, concur? No, I don't concur. Now we don't concur. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, it actually did turn off when I hit the power button instantly. So before, remember, it was like not really turning off. So we are getting a residual 0.27. We don't have a battery plugged in. Why do we have 0.26, 0.27, or 5 watts being pulled constantly? It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that. But I'm going to power it back on and see what it does. There's a chance that we could get it to come on the second try. So I'm just going to check here. And wow, I don't know, man. I've never seen just when you have a shorted cap like this, it should just work. That'd be messed up if we have to pull that heatsink off. 100 watts. Did you see the 100 watts? 77, 72. Fans turned off. It's chilling like a villain. We never got the 100 watts before, did we? Congratulations, the heatsink is out again. We can do it together. Yep, you saw it. I want to plug the battery in because maybe it needs the extra power for the battery. Sometimes it is a little 68, 78, 81, 97, and off. I feel like it's like messing with me. Are you? Is this a punk? Is it trolling me? Got the 90 last time, huh? But at least it's moving around instead of just sitting there at that 50 watts. We need more power. What if I don't have the screen plugged in or something stupid like that? Although we would get a light here. 64 watts, 78 watts, 84 watts. As long as it doesn't shut off. Oh, you didn't see it. It just said manufacturing mode up here. We have picture! So it's because I flashed the BIOS with that. It cleared the service tag. It cleared everything. So we wiped out everything, and that's why it had to take that extra time. And that's why the fans are on full blast, because listen, you see how it is beeping too? That's what it is whenever it's in manufacturing mode. So I saved another laptop. Gritty with the 100 bits, thank you. So the question is, so now we know it's working. I'll turn it back on. It should come on a lot faster now without plugging in the charger or unplugging the charger. But the fans are going to be cranked. So the moment that I take it out of manufacturing mode, you saw it there for a second. If I do FNX, it will clear the manufacturing mode, which will get rid of the beeping. And it will also get rid of the fan spin like this. So I'll just do that quickly. So FNX, there we go, it cleared it. And now we're getting our error here, and the fans are calming back down. And it wants me to enter a service tag because we cleared it to go into BIOS. So yes, so if I were so inclined, I just unplugged it, so we would have to go through a whole CMOS reset again. But if I was so inclined to continue this repair to finish it for real, then it'd be time to flash their BIOS back on here. That's the responsible thing to do, because what that has is their service tag on there for one thing, which we could just type in. But their BitLocker key. I don't know if they have BitLocker on here or not, but we don't want to mess up any of that stuff, so I don't have to like go and try to find their BitLocker key. So what do you guys want me to do? The fans were not still on full cycle. They actually calmed back down after I turned that off. So what am I going to put in for their service tag? I have their service tag. because on our paperwork, whenever they fill out their paperwork, they have to put in their service tag. And so everything's kept track in our database by the service tag. Flash the BIOS back. So here's your choice. Move on to the next laptop or flash this BIOS back and we can chat and whatever. So the next laptop was the donation laptop that I don't even know what's wrong with it, but someone gave it to me or donated it, and I'm going to try to... Steven wants me to have a bourbon. That's what I want. I'm going to have some bourbon. I got some Old Forester 1920 right now. That's what I got the other night. So has anyone had any of that before? Some good stuff. BIOS, reflash. We got one next here. One next. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Flash BIOS. Move on. I think we might have to do a vote. We concur. Next, please. Okay, so if you want to watch me flash the BIOS and you missed it earlier, so at the starting of the stream we did flash the BIOS. I even showed you how to extract one from Dell's website, and you're able to create one, especially for an AMD system. It's a lot easier. But we don't need to sit there and hold it down because it is a boring process and I can mess up. So I can just type in the service tag, but the BitLocker key was stored in their old BIOS, and that's why we want to put it on there. I don't even know if they have BitLocker. If they don't have BitLocker, then I don't need to do that. I can just type in their service tag and it will work. So we can put their SSD in here and see if it has BitLocker. But what I don't want to do is have their tries to boot to BitLocker. It sees that the machine's different and then starts throwing flags inside the BitLocker saying there's tampering. So that's why I don't want to put it in here and test that. I just want to put the original thing back on there. So I deal with BitLocker about 10 times a week. I'm not concerned with it. It doesn't bother me that much. I'm so used to it. So the next machine was this one here. And this was one that was donated to us. And what I'm going to do is if I fix this, I'm going to see try to figure out a way to donate it to somebody out there, especially someone who needs it. This was donated by John. And this was just this is his note he included here. And I don't know what's up with it, but recently discovered a YouTube channel and learned a lot. So he was going to recycle this machine. Website said that the motherboard was selling for about $400. It's probably older price if it was out of stock, depending upon, because we don't update it, so it's not possible to run a Windows 11 test. So anyway, we'll just look at it. It may be something simple, maybe something, I don't know. Screws and tray, thank you. So what I do with my screws in my tray is, thanks to Daryl in chat, he sent me 2 of these, so now I can just switch it out. And I'll just send it back to Big Boss and let him reassemble it for me. It'd be nice if I had a big boss. The biggest of all bosses. If I had the biggest boss that there was, that I could just send all my boards to and had him deal with all that stuff. Now, I do have other techs, and sometimes I'll have them pull the board out for me. Like, hey, I'm not going to do a video on it, pull the board out. But it's like, that's their time, too. It's like if they're working on plenty of machines themselves, why am I having to make them take time out? Now, one thing I don't usually like to do is if the screen is glued together and I'm doing a board repair and like the screen needs to be replaced too or something like that, I'm like, I will hand that off in a heartbeat because I'm not all about pulling apart screens. I don't want to do it. I don't want to put it on a heater. I don't want to sit there and do all that stuff. So the biggest of all bosses. All right, we're going to start on this one. So this is the 7577. Thank you. All right, new day, new laptop to repair. This time we have an Inspiron gaming laptop. This is the 7577. This was sent in as a donation. And he said that he was going to recycle it, and because it's not working, it was his son's laptop. So he sent it in to us as a donation. I haven't taken a look at this yet. Let's take a look together and see if we can figure it out. And if I fix it, then I'll send it to somebody out there in the YouTube or Twitch sphere. So first thing we want to do is to see if it turns on. Pressing the power button. Nothing's... Oh! I hear something, actually. I heard some fans. Let me try it again. Instead of pressing it 12 times, I'm going to press it 1 time. Can't tell if the fans are on or not. Oh, the keyboard backlight's on. You can kind of see it, maybe. Yeah, a little bit. So the keyboard backlight's on. And you can, this is lit up a little bit. This is kind of a cool looking laptop, actually. It's like red and black. And it has some sort of GTX, so I'm assuming it's like a 10 series card in here. Here, someone look up the specs on this. I'm going to hold down the power button. The fans are spinning up and shutting off. So it's kind of responding. It's powering on, but we're not getting a screen. Someone look up the specs, post it in there so we know. We want to see what the CPU is and the GPU. And then maybe I'll pin it to the top. So type in the model, the CPU, and the GPU, and then I'll pin it to the top of our chat so we all can kind of see what it is. So service tag, Golf, Delta, 0, Tango, November, Hotel 2. You think it's a 1050 or 1060? It may even be a 1080 or 1070. I mean, this is the gaming edition, so I don't think it would be a 1050 because they put 1050s in kind of crappier, lower end machines. I think this is more, this may be a 7th or 8th gen. It won't be a 1050. Only Alienware's have, or 1080. Okay. 1060. Don, is that official? Oh, those are the options. Who's got it? Who's got it? Who's the first one that's going to have the stats put in there for me so I can pin it? There's a beef between, yeah, Northridge Fix and Northwest Repair. Kind of. I think Northwest Repair doesn't like how Northridge Fix kind of, I don't know, is a salesman, I guess. I don't know. He kind of can sell a Cadillac with mud tires, which is a compliment. He used to be a car salesman, by the way. Okay, anyone got my stats here? Nobody's doing it. I figured someone would be really fast at it. Buffering. I got 0 drop frames, so we should be good. You're buffering on Twitch? 7th gen i7 or what? IPS? So if you go to Dell's site, service tag again. If you go to Dell's site and then you have to click on configuration. I can do it for us if we want. Golf, Delta, 0, Tango, November, Hotel 2. Watching no buffering. Yeah, I have 0 drop frames, so it's not on my side if it's going to be buffering. Do 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 do. 1060. We have people just dropping stuff in here. So are these like votes? Are these people guessing? You could probably run Black Ops 6 on it somehow. All right, I bet you guys are struggling on this, but I could do it in like 2 seconds because I've done it a million times. I think I've looked it up. Yeah, here it is. Look at this. Specifications. Boom. Expand all. Actually, we can just go down. Oops. And we got a 1060 with 6 gig. Is that what someone said already? And an i7 something. i7 7700. i7 7700, like that's a pretty good chip, right? 700 HQ with a 1060, 6 gig. I like the 1060 6 gig. Why can't I pin on there? Hold on, I gotta go over here. Pin this. Pin. Okay. All right, let's work on this thing. So what do you think that's wrong? It's not really coming on its own. If I plug it in here, 0.01, power it on, 1.36 amps, so 27 watts. It's not really Windows 11 compatible, but you know how that is. So we're sitting at a constant amps draw of 26 watts, now 29 watts, now 31. So it is moving around just a little bit. Now what we're looking for is if this is going to be a BIOS issue of some sort, you're going to have it hanging at one constant current. And so we are kind of getting that constant current. We could have a power rail failure. I doubt it. Is there a blink code on this thing? Where do they put the light code on this darn thing? Is it going to be on the caps lock? Yeah. All right, got it? 2.3. We know what 2.3 is. I do. But we can look it up together since the world sometimes needs to see it. So like on this, I think it's going to be the same as going to be on this list. 2.3 is going to be no memory or RAM detected at all. So that means that the power rail on the RAM could be gone, or it could be that there's no sticks of memory there, or it got dislodged or something like that. So let's open the bottom up. That could be super simple. Super simple. Easy access, one screw. Now this is the type of bottom we like. One screw to rule them all. There's no RAM in here. Are you kidding me? There's no SSD, no RAM. The battery's halfway plugged in, or no, it's plugged in. All right, what do we got? DDR4. How much should we put in here? Let's load it up. No, I'm just gonna put one stick in here for right now. That'd be funny if all it is just... Did I read the note? Did it say it in the note? It said it didn't work, I thought. He was just gonna donate it. I thought it didn't work. Did I even read the note? Those are a lot of words. That's funny. No, I'm not been known to read very well. We'll put 64 gigahertz in there. Let's see if this error goes away. Okay, so we got the same current draw, 38. Then we got a Dell screen. All right, so there's nothing wrong with this thing. Oh, the keyboard doesn't work. Keyboard's not working. Touchpad works. Okay. Why is the keyboard not working? Did you even read the note? I think that's funny. No, did not read the note. I skimmed the note. What's that? So that says TP, KB, back L, backlight, LED, power. So where's the keyboard? HDD, DDD. Here's your sign. Here's your sign. Now the question is, should I unplug the battery to try to plug in this keyboard, or should I just go balls out? No, you should always unplug the battery, especially if you're working on anything that has power lines in it. Okay. Did you read it? The keyboard latch is broken. That's why. The latch is broken. So there's supposed to be a little flippity flip on here for a ZIF. And so if I plug this in here, it's not going to work either because the latch has been busted off. So I'll have to replace the entire connector or maybe try to put a latch on there, but that's for another day, I think, because the excitement is gone already. Yeah, we'll do an external keyboard just to drive around a little bit. Did the note say the keyboard was... He's funny. Dan's like, yeah, it was in the note. The note said the RAM was gone, the keyboard connector's busted. It's all in the note. That's so funny. Oh, gosh. Read the note. Read the note. Okay. It's in the note, George. It's all downtown. Seinfeld reference. Right? Or it's in the song. It's in the song, George. It's downtown. Everything you need is downtown. Okay, diagnostics. Yeah. Is everyone okay? Nothing to see here. Sorry about that. Reading is fundamental. You know that, right? That's so ridiculous. There's just so many words. That's like a Nate Bargatze thing, right? There's just so many words and these dumb eyes. Ah, stop it! The long did not read. That's right. I know. That's TLDR. I know it's ridiculous. I know. Okay. Well, that's embarrassing. So we can, you know, move on to another one. What time is it? Well, according to my schedule, I only have 15 minutes left, but you know how I am. I usually kind of keep on going if I'm having fun. Giddy, giddy, giddy. Yeah, if you're using headphones, you just... Oh, yeah, I probably woke someone up who was sleeping through my stream here. Guess what? I saved another laptop. I saved it. It's been saved. All right, so it's working. What else do we want to see? Enough time for a BIOS? We have another whole machine, too. I just woke up the Twitch lurkers. Yeah, my Twitch count's going down. That means the lurkers need to start pushing some keys and making themselves be known. All right, I'm done with this one. I can't believe you let me down. I thought this was going to be a good one. Oh, okay. Actually, this is the time in the stream. So we have 825 people in the stream, plus your 50. Let's just call it 875, 900. All right. Does anyone in this chat right now, that's Twitch and YouTube, does anyone have their laptop here in my repair place right now? I will go grab it. Anybody? Anybody? Speak now or forever hold your peace. That's right. I will do a live repair on your repair, except I don't want to like do a Windows repair or something boring like that. But we got a nope, nope. Anybody? Anybody? Nope. I left a stick of RAM in there. That's right. I got tons of them. I got tons of them. If I did, it makes me want an eBay one for real quick. Yeah. Don't forget your RAM. Yeah, like I said, I have a whole drawer of them, so I have this whole labeled. I get just like, I have a plethora of them. Would you say I have a plethora? Do you even know what a plethora is? All right, no takers on that deal. But since we have 15 minutes left, is it real or is it fake? It's that segment all over again. I have a couple. You guys want to do it? We can do it. So I have a few things here, if you're interested. No, Ryan doesn't want it. Is it real or is it fake? All right, so what I'm doing on this one, on this edition of Is It Real or Is It Fake? We have two here. One is fake and one is real. Can you tell the difference? Oh, I love the spelling of fake. That's awesome. I haven't seen that before. Is it fake? So this one may be pretty easy to see. They are left and right, or right and left, or next to each other. But I wish, maybe I should have done it the other way, because, let's see. Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help either. Where's my scale? I thought I set it out. Aha. All right, so we're going to put it on the scale. I'm interested in weighing these things just so we can kind of see what that is. So, tare weight. All right, zoom in. We'll start with this one. No, 1,300, wait, 1,130 grams. Okay, 1,130 grams. And my tare weight's good. Okay, so now we'll do this one. All right, 1,126 grams. Okay. Interesting. Make sure our wires are right, so I'm not like adding any weight to it or lifting it up. It's pretty much the same, so we can't rely on that. Okay, so the weight is out. All right. Okay. So label time. I mean, we can see something very obvious right here because it has the word AC adapter here, but what I'm wondering is that they're covering up Dell. Yeah, so I've seen this in the past where they're importing something and they're covering that up as the importer. But, so let's take the sticker off of here if it wants to come off. Look at that. Came right off. Now, fonts are different. This one says Dell Inc. This one has the Dell logo, which they don't actually use that anymore. They use Dell Technologies. The font looks weird. This label does look different to me than this one. And to be honest, the plastics look different too. I don't know if we can tell in here. There we go. Yeah, you see that? You see the plastics? And then the last thing that we always look at is the date code. And what's very, very interesting is it's definitely plausible that this is real, because the date code says 3AB. 3 would be 2023 or 2013. This one is a 697. So it'd be 2016 or 2026, so it can't be 2026, so 2016. I'm going to tell you right now that I know for a fact that this one is real. But this one, I have no idea. I think it's fake, personally. But the weight of it is so good. The label here looks so good. It could have been manufactured, like I've had this one for a long time, that's why it actually is a 2016. But this one, it could be 2023, I guess, and it weighs the same and has the font here, but the plastic, yeah, the casing is weird. Here's the other things to look at. Yeah, the light is weird, so this is the real one, and that's the one that's suspect. And then the cable, let's see. But that could be just a generational difference because it is 9 years difference. The ends are the same, so I don't know. Unknown. I'm saying fake, but I'm actually surprised on how well it worked. Okay, we'll do one more. I don't have a whole bunch of these, but I put a short out today on putting the segment from the real fake the other day, and it actually performed pretty well. So I figured it'd be kind of nice to do one of these again. Show the FCC ID. Okay, that would be a good thing to try. Are you able to look that up? I don't know how to look it up though. 640. Here, should I go in the microscope? FCC ID, where's that at? I don't know where I'm looking for this, so you're gonna have to kind of point it out to me. I mean, is it one of these numbers? Are you able to look that up? So the 9T54? Because they could have just copied the other one, right? If they're just copying another one. Here's my one that I know I purchased real. FCC ID. I don't have all those other numbers over here. I don't know. Isn't that crazy? This thing pumps out 16 amps, 17 amps. It's nuts, man. Oh, the FCC gives you internal pictures and some schematics. Oh, really? That's cool. Okay, so that's that one. Let me, let's just do this last one, and then we can kind of hang out for a little bit. I like to do questions and answers at the end of the night. All right. Is it real or is it fake? All right. So, ooh. We'll zoom in. So one I know is real and one I'm pretty sure is fake. But again, I don't really know for sure. A little tilty tilt. One, well, there's nothing I can really tell you because I don't want to give you any hints. We'll do scale. I should have done the labels out before. Okay, so we got right looks real, right looks fake, left looks fake, right looks fake, left is real, left, right, left. Okay, here, we'll do the side too. And then I'm going to do a scale. So we'll start with this side here. .316. Okay, left. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this wire pulling it down? That's messed up. All right, so that's substantial. That's like 30%. Yeah, I could definitely tell that this one's lighter. Maybe it has better technology. Okay, so we will see. All right, so now we'll flip it. Should we do one label at a time or should I do both at the same time? I feel like it might be better to just do them both at the same time so then you can compare. All right. All right, so that's that. One thing I'm noticing, they're not even. Oh my gosh, my hand's so dirty. This one's taller. This one's shorter. This is the heavier one. This is the lighter one. So the lighter one's actually taller. And we have serial numbers. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, zoom all the way in. That's all the way. Hard to tell. Maybe we'll do microscope, but we have a matrix code. We have a matrix code, so it's not a QR code because a lot of times you'll have that QR code. We're going to go microscope. All right, so this is the right one. So there's the font. It is using the reclining E. It has, I don't know what font that is. Courier, not Courier, Arial. And then we have a date code of 2020 or 2010. So I'm thinking 2020 because it's a USB-C. Has dashes and it's an MP. We could actually scan that too to see what's in that. But the rest of that looks pretty good. Now we'll look at this one. Okay, I just saw something. Is that the same for this? Okay, so the label does not fit in here. And the label does not fit in this one either. But look at that. Look at that Dell in 130. There's something about that. And the coloring is a little weird, but that's okay. I mean, it can be okay. 6.5 amps at 1 amp. 6.5, 130. I don't know. Now it says for the EU only. I missed that. Well, when did it say? Where does it say EU only? What I'm seeing, this is 2018. I don't think that's possible. See the 8 there? I don't think that's possible. I just don't think it's possible. Let me grab a scanner. We're going to scan these things real quick. Let me grab a scanner. This is a real way to actually figure it out. This is what we do 99% of the time if we're trying to figure out something's fake. We take our scanners, because we scan every single part number whenever we're working on stuff. And we open up Notepad. Where's my Notepad? All right. So I'm going to scan the first one. All right, this is the left one. All right. And then we'll scan the right one. Okay, so what we want to look at here is, I don't know if this view, what's this view going to give me if I turn those on? Can't remember. Okay, cool. So what we want to look at here is, that's not useful. That's not useful either. I'm trying to get the microscope in the right position for both of these. I don't know. Let's go back and forth. So this number, we want that number to be the same. And is it the same? Uh, 83Q, it is the same, I think. So that's matching. So to me, that actually is looking good. All right, and then we're going to do the other one. This is the other one. They're both real. That's official. They're both real. No, I don't know. This is, it's getting hard, I can tell you right now. But one thing I didn't show you, I had something up my sleeve, is the end. So a telltale sign of a fake charger is the end, and it's that. This is a real end, and that's a fake one. So I know for sure that this right one is fake, or this left one's fake, excuse me. This one for sure is fake, 100% fake. But they made it so good that they had a real sticker on it. The label looked pretty good. The casing's a little sketch. It weighs a lot less. It's thicker, but the end is really the dead giveaway. Like without me even looking at anything else, for some reason they cannot get the correct end on them. So when it has a big LED like that, it's fake. So anyway, so that was boring, probably. Or you maybe found it interesting. I don't know. And the FCC numbers too, as well. Had one FCC number as well. Don't understand why China loves to spot gloss logos. Yeah, for some reason, why? Like, I don't know. I mean, some of these fraudsters, like, I don't understand. Like, whenever somebody's like spoofing a website too, and they're trying to get you to do some spear phishing or some phishing attempts where they make you go to a fake website. I don't understand why they make the website look so bad. Like, they could literally make the website look good. So, I mean, all these fakes, they seems like they could just copy it exactly instead of it making it just kind of look a little bit off. These slotted cable for the real one on the left. Yeah, it was the right one was the real one. The fake one was the left one. What microscope and camera am I using? What do you recommend? So what I'm using right now is the this is an AmScope. I have a link inside the video description. AmScope something, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a 90x zoom with a trinocular, so it has a separate camera slot here. And then the camera that I'm using, I actually don't have a listing for it. I did find it. It's made by Ryzen Cam, and it uses the IMX663. What sensor is it? 687, I'm sorry, I can't remember. 663. I can't remember which IMX sensor it is, but it's good. It's a good low light sensor. That's really what you're looking for, is something that has a good low light sensor. It does 4K at 30, and it doesn't do 4K 60, but it does 4K 30. And then if you're doing 1080p, you can do 60, but I don't do 1080p. I do 4K. I'd rather get higher resolution with lower frame rate. In my experience is that sometimes making it fake and fooling someone means that it's easier. They're an easier target, or it's an easier target. Yeah, it is. To me, it's like I think it's because of the ease of Amazon, because you're just like clicking. It's on Amazon. It's good. You know, just click the button, right? And so they're not combating anything. They're more concerned with growing their website, getting more stuff on there, than actually policing what they're putting on there. So. But I mean, at home I buy even like USB chargers. So I got a pack of these. These are the fast chargers, like cell phone chargers. This is a knockoff of the Samsung charger. I bought a pack of these. They work just fine. I'm not super concerned with them blowing out my phone, but they're also not putting that much power. I mean, this is a 12 volts at 1 amp, has the fast charging, so it's not even doing 15 volts. But the real ones, the Samsung chargers. What music do I listen to? You know what I was listening to right now? I have like a playlist that's kind of just like I don't know, just indie stuff, I guess. I don't know, just kind of like chill stuff. I don't listen to anything metal or heavy. I don't listen to country. I can tell you what I don't listen to, I guess. Because I do listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to older things. You know, like Beatles or Pink Floyd. Like I had Pink Floyd on the other day when I was working, and then I'll listen to some 90s. Sometimes I'll put 90s on, or sometimes I'll put 2000s on. I don't really like that much 2000 stuff. I got some kids, so I listen to a lot of like and the girls. So Taylor Swift is I mean, she's not my favorite, but I hear it all the time. So let's see. And I have some albums. I got a record player, so I'm like always collecting different albums to put in there. I just got the new, or not, I got a Coldplay album the other day. Dope Lemon is a really, if you've never listened to Dope Lemon, I really am enjoying this guy. He's an Australian music artist. You should check it out. It's pretty interesting music, but it's pretty cool. He's kind of, you know, not mainstream, which I enjoy. Someone says New Kids on the Block. Time for bourbon, yes. And so I will go home and have my, IMX 678. Thank you. That's the sensor. So the Ryzen Cam with the IMX 678 is the one that I like. They have plenty of other cameras that have the IMX 678. Ryzen Cam is actually a pretty good company. I do astronomy, or I have done a lot of astronomy in the past, and so microscopes and telescopes are very similar in the way that you deal with focal length and aperture and sensor size and exposure and all this different stuff. And so I'm familiar with the Ryzen Cam brand, in general just because of astronomy. I'm trying to cycle through here and try to make sure I can get some of these questions out. Can you just zoom in to show what 90x is? Is that what you're asking here? Sorry, it keeps jumping here to show us how far 90x goes. So here's a 90x. It does get pretty dark. Here, I'm going to take my, sorry, I didn't see your sign. Ugh. I'm going to take off my polarizer so it's dark. And we'll just grab a board. All right. All right, so this is all the way zoomed out. So that's all the way zoomed out. Now I do have a 0.5 Barlow on it. So if I took off the 0.5 Barlow, then I would have to get a lot closer. So you're gonna wanna get that. And then, so that's like a negative. So it makes it just basically, it halves your focal length and then it raises the distance. So now if I start the zooming, it goes out of focus. And so I have to refocus. So I'm gonna focus it down. Let's see. Actually get this closer. Let's try that again. All right, so now we're going to go all the way in. So this is zoomed in all the way at 90x. And let's put a quarter here. El Quartero. And there you go. So 90x is pretty good. Now, if you went to 45, you know, so like here's all the way out. So if we'll just go for halfway, that's like halfway. So that's a 45. I mean, I know they sell a 45, and that could be good. Let me go back here. Whoever just posted on the screen, I did not see it because I was distracted. So what did you say? What did you say to me? Dave, was that you? Bell, when are you going to show us your liquid metal manufacturing? I'm not going to, premise, what are you talking about? I'm not going to manufacture liquid metal, man. What do you, yeah, okay, yeah, so we're talking about the Mechanic 8K. That's not really 8K. You look at it, it's still using that IMX 678. So any of these gimmicks where they're saying it's like a higher resolution, that IMX sensor is not an 8K sensor, so you can't do it. Can't do it. I'm trying to zoom. Every time I try to scroll back, it jumps, and it's really irritating because I'm trying to redo your questions here because I feel like I'm missing stuff. Big band sound for you. You like big band? Oh, yeah, we're back to music stuff. So I like 40s music. If I want to have something just on the background, relaxing, so I'll do that too. Don't waste money on cheap chargers or fake chargers, especially in batteries, yeah. So on laptops for sure. I've seen too many of them blow out. Crazy Diamonds, yep, that's a Pink Floyd. I'm a little bit back on the chat, sorry. Oh yeah, New Kids on the Block, that's right. All-time favorite bourbon. Okay, that's what the question was. All-time favorite bourbon. So, you know, I haven't been privileged enough to actually experience a lot of really good bourbons. So like, you know, $200 or $500 or $1,000 bottles. So I'm just, so I can't tell you. I can just tell you I really like these double oaked versions of the bourbon, which is, what was it? Oh my gosh, now I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. I just ran out the other day. But we have a new member. Welcome aboard, John. What'd you become a member of? We have a Coolest Fan. Welcome, man. Yeah, I can't remember. It will come to me later for my favorite bourbon, but right now I'm drinking that Old Forester 1920, which is nice stuff. And I end up watering it down because I'm a wimp. No, because I like it to last a while. Let's see. I'm starting to get caught up with some of the stuff here. Your Precision 5530 gets to 70 degrees at idle. I just assembled it, wanted to change the thermal paste and remove the dust. Yeah, those will be hot. Those machines run hotter just because they are like a slim machine. What I suggest you do is install all the latest chipset drivers, thermal, so just go to Dell's website, click on chipset, and then download all those and update those. That'll probably fix the issue. Pink Floyd, heard the name, don't know who they are. So Dragon Balls, are you being serious? Because you're about to go down a whole rabbit hole. Man, I discovered Pink Floyd when I was a teenager in the early 90s, and I listened to a lot of it. And I actually had it on reel-to-reel. My granny had died, and so I got all of her like collection of reel-to-reel stuff, which was super slick. You had these, and you could play it in different speeds and stuff. Anyway, and yeah, so I listened to a lot of Pink Floyd back in the day. Long Branch Bourbon is worth it. Okay, I will bookmark that and go pick up a bottle of Long Branch. Liquid bourbon would be nice. Yeah, Woodford Reserve is really good. Water it down, you men, on ice? Yeah, I put ice in water. I always do that. Generally, it's because I don't drink to get drunk, for one thing. I like it just kind of, that'll make it last. And so you can, I'll do like a little neat glass if I'm, smoking a cigar or something. But if it's just like at the end of the night, like tonight, I will get home, I will pour bourbon, I'll put ice in it and some water, and it will last me, an hour or something, 45 minutes to an hour. If I did it where it was neat, then it would be gone like, it's too fast. So, love the videos. Had your own computer repair place. Did you really? For 22 years. John, how did you get out of the business? Because at some point I need to retire. Someone going to come buy me out, and then I can retire. I've been doing this 23 years, so, or more than half my life, because I was 21, so. Drink enough bourbon and you definitely become comfortably numb. There you go. See, that's a reference from Pink Floyd, right? Monty says, you fixed my 5000E in your garage. I did, yes. So Monty had sent in, or Montgomery, he was the one who sent me that honey, the Nate's honey. But he had sent me his 5000E, which is an old laptop, whenever I first started the business when I was, and I guess I would have been like 22 or so. But I was still working out of my house, and I had like this little garage warehouse or storage, whatever, that I was shipping everything out of. So yeah, I was working on stuff back then. So he's one of my oldest customers. Why does Alienware batteries life suck so bad? Are you kidding me? Jeff, you got to think about it. So you saw how big the Alienware charger was? 330 watts. So it was running 17 amps out of there. So if you're running a laptop on a battery, how many amps do you think you can pull out of a battery that's only running at 12.6 volts? If you want to have the same wattage ratio, right? Because if you're using like Ohm's law, to produce 330 watts from it's 20 volts at 17 amps equals 330. Now, if you want to have 330 watts still using the same ratio at 12.6 volts, that's a fully charged battery, by the way. But if you're at like half charged battery, which would be like 11.6 volts, you have to pull so many amps out of the battery. So at most, those batteries are usually dumping about 7 amps, 8 amps out of the battery, and you're going to have voltage sag, and it's not going to last. What can you do? Nothing you can do. So they always clock down the machine, make it slower. Wow, 23 years, awesome. Where's the plaque to celebrate? Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I have to buy myself a plaque. At 25 years, we'll do a big party. Manchester's Rye, or is it Mincher's Rye? Blanton's Direct. I could never buy Blanton's. I've never once been able to find a bottle of that. Now, Angel's Envy, I've been drinking as a kind of a go-to, is because it's a good medium-priced thing. Let's see. You're out of Blanton's right now. I mean, David, where do you get it? Because I can't, every time I try to get it, I can't get it. I mean, you have to know somebody at the liquor store or whatever, and like, we'll set one to the side. But I guess not friendly enough for them. You never just use the battery. Now, if it was just a regular laptop, you'd use the battery. But now, if you plug in your laptop and just keep it plugged in all the time, you can make a battery run out in 1 year. So I want you to realize that lithium-ion cells do not like to be above 80% charge. And so if you keep them plugged in all the time, within a year, you usually have a battery failing. So that's I run into that all the time. People come in and be like, I didn't even use my battery, it's dead. And I'm like, because you kept it plugged in the whole time. Anything else here? I'm getting tired. 99% of my customers were fellow state workers and had never advertised. It was all word of mouth. Yep. And so that's exactly how my business operates, by the way. I've never, maybe a little bit of, I never used AdWords or did anything like that, but Google Shopping, I'll have some Google Shopping, but that's like maybe 10% or 5% of the sales is that, but it's always been, our website has ranked really well, and then it's all word of mouth, especially for repair. Repair is like a small portion of my business anyway, like 5%, but it's all word of mouth. I don't do any advertising. And then this YouTube thing has definitely helped a lot for advertising, but as for paying to do that, if you just treat the customer well and don't put your ego first, and you're there, you know, if you feel like, if the customer feels like they were wronged by you or had some issue or whatever, then you really have to think about like what that experience they went through and figure out, okay, yeah, you're right. If I was that customer, I would not like that. You know, I'd rather refund an order than to even deal with it. So that's why we never have any bad reviews. Everything is always a good review. You're retired. You're not. Wait, I'm retired and you're just tired. Yeah, I am delirious. 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 Have I worked on the new Area 51 yet? You had an area. Yeah, I've had Area 51s. I had one the other day that we're working on, which is the 2019 version. But they have the new Aurora Area 51s. I haven't gotten any of those yet. I'm at 3 hours and 20 minutes now. Yes, I am. So does that mean y'all want me to sign off? Or do you like this question and answer time? I like hanging out a little bit just so we have this a little. This is the just chatting portion of the live stream. Some people enjoy this. You got 3 batteries to swell within a year by keeping the laptop plugged in. 100%. That's why electric cars, you always charge them to 80%, and when you're going to go out of town, you charge them to 100%. Have I found any bugs inside the laptop lately? Nope. Only defects. No, only that one capacitor on these Alienwares. That's definitely a bug. Go to Tennessee to get Blanton's. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a little afternoon trip out there, huh? Great tip. I'll leave it plugged in, unplugged. Yeah, I kind of treat it as like I have a 9500, XPS 9500 is what I use. I keep it plugged in when I'm not using it. I unplug it when I use it. I just kind of treat it like a cell phone. And if you do plan to use it as a desktop and you're working on it all day long, there's usually power schemes that you can run inside the BIOS or in Windows that will, you just set it to always plugged in, and it will cycle the battery or keep it down at 85%. Can you repair car engines? I did some mechanic stuff back in the day. I never really, it wasn't like a huge passion. So like one of my first cars or first couple cars, I would do all the work for it myself, but I never really got super into it. Montgomery recently retired for the 4th time. And it's Dr. Montgomery, right? I think he's a doctor. Yeah, bugs in laptops are gross. And if you hadn't seen it, we were talking about that. I had opened a laptop that was covered in bed bugs inside of it. So that's your dilemma. Dilemma. Let's see. Looking for a battery for your E5520. Your website shows out of stock. Recommendations. Let's see. E5520. I want to see the last time I've had those in stock, just so to kind of give you an idea. Because it's going to be something that they don't produce anymore, most likely, or it's something that, oh yeah, it's that model. Okay. You know what? I might have some of these. I'm still, I got a bunch of new ones of these, but they were new old stock, meaning they've been on the shelf for a while, and so they all need to be topped off. No, it's not this model. But let's see, stock. 2019, I got one in December of 2019 was the last time. So 6 years ago, that's a long time. So you're not gonna be able to find any of those. You might be able to find an aftermarket somewhere. Speaking of bugs, your retired TV repair and opened it up and it was full of cockroaches. I believe that. I grew up in a house that was infested with German roaches, so I'm very familiar with what those darn critters can do. We had like all the pictures around on the walls had like the bug poop around it with the shape of it. We were like completely infested. You'd open or turn on the light in the kitchen in the middle of the night. It was like, hey, and they're like all over the place. Let's see. What's there to do in Texas? Hard to convince your wife to go on vacation to see my shop. Okay, so Austin, Texas. There is ACL because it's music capital of the world, right? Self-proclaimed, but so there's tons of stuff like music related. So South by Southwest is in March. ACL's Austin City Limits, which is a big music festival, is 2 weekends in a row. You can see a lot of big bands because even like Paul McCartney will come and things like that. That's going to be in October. It just happened a couple weeks ago. And then there's plenty of like stuff around Austin to see. Enchanted Rock is a really cool place. It's like a huge, you have to look it up, but it's like a huge rock that looks like a river stone, but it's huge, and you can climb on top of it and all that stuff. So it's a park. I'm trying to think of. I mean, there's tons of stuff around, but it just depends on what your wife is into. Go home and relax. Yeah, I'm about to. Can you fix a Epson printer? I'm sure I could, but do I want to? One hobby I got into for a while was like 3D printers, so I was like building them. So I have a bunch of 3D printers that I built, and I designed and built my own from scratch. That was a Delta, printed all the parts, did all that. I also built a huge one that prints 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. I could print a car engine with it. Not very well, but that was one thing I like to get into. Would you recommend getting a fake battery for a 15R3? I no longer have them. So you're going to have to. If you want to have a laptop, have a battery, and they don't make it anymore, you're going to have to. Now, whether you want to use it off the battery all the time, I mean, I'm less concerned with batteries, I can tell you that, with damaging the motherboard, but I'm more concerned with batteries with starting fires. So, right? So the charger, whenever it's a crappy charger, it kind of has really bad, or dirty voltage. It will damage the motherboard. A battery will just shut off if it can't supply the right amount of power, but then it will light your laptop on fire if it has those really crappy cells. So, could you share my playlist? We like to check it out. That's a good idea. Okay. Let's see. I use YouTube Music for all my listening to music. I'm telling you, go check out Dope Lemon if you haven't checked it out. He has a bunch of different albums, and it's all different styles. It's pretty cool stuff. I bought a couple of his records too recently for my collection. Now I have a friend of mine who's like a big music connoisseur who collects, he has 1,000 records or something, and I gave him a record, and he didn't really like it. So I don't know. It's do I utilize my NLBA? NLBA is what does that stand for? What's the battery analyzer? Something NLBA. I don't. Anyway, I do have one. I don't have it connected to this computer, and you only get to sign it up to a computer a certain amount of time. So I had it set up in my office, and so I use it whenever I need to. So I'll just grab the battery, run it back there, plug it in. Magnolia Cafe. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Are there those Magnolia people in Austin? Is that what you're saying? Magnolia people. I don't know what a Magnolia people is. There's Magnolia Cafe, which is a very famous restaurant that's been around for a long time. Let's see. All right, I think I'm about to wrap this up. Fake batteries will always end up swelling in a few months and cracking. Yes, and touchpads. Yes, that's true. But again, just don't keep it charged up all the way. What's the playlist name again? Dope Lemon is what I'm talking about. It's a band, but yeah, or it's a guy. And he's from Australia. So any of you Aussies out there, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. So I appreciate everybody. Hope everybody had fun. This was, you know, it was cool. We took a motherboard out when we didn't need to. We flashed the BIOS when we didn't need to. We thought a laptop was broken, and it wasn't because I didn't read the note. I don't know. But anyway, I want to appreciate every single one of you guys, all the donations, all my new members, board members. Make sure to like the video so that way other people will watch this thing. We got some bits coming in by Gritty. I can always count on him. Thank you so much. I want to thank all my mods, the Daves out there. We got 2 Daves that are mods. We got Premise, JFix. I don't think he's here tonight. But I appreciate each and every single one of you, and thanks for watching.